program is meant for actors only. If you are easily offended, you are choosing to be offended by continuing to watch. If jokes upset you, whether bad or good, you might end up crying. Being a bitch in life is difficult, I imagine, but you must find a way to continue. For all the haters and lurkers, hope you enjoy the show. For the bigot army, enjoy the show. Don't be a pussy.
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
the Grifter Zone.
Oh, you found your moo.
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's because Jesus Christ is.
Man, I want to get drunk in a hotel room with you.
That might be taken out of context.
Gay, gay, gay.
Oh. No. How is it my fault? What? The bragging gifted this and I'm immediately called an anti-Semite? Come on, dog.
Bruh.
What are these characters? Nazi furry? Hypno, why would you do this to me? Said, welcome to Goonergate. Protect your booty hole.
What's up, nerds? It's Alyssa Mercante, Kotaku senior editor, and
nobody even wants you here.
And I would take her to Chili's, maybe. You know, like, genuinely, I just want the best for her. Genuinely.
Listen, if it was consensual and you didn't hate the Jews, I'd fuck the shit out of you. I would.
What did he say? People are gonna clip that. You know that I don't.
Clip it. I know you don't. Come on. But that's the thing. Why can't we have fun?
Bruh.
That's an interesting way of putting. That makes sense.
He's jealous. Fuck yeah. Been knew I was that bitch. I didn't need a man to tell him to fuck.
And Hypnotic again, member for 1 month. Thank you. Enjoy first Berserker. What's that black stuff between an elephant's toes? Slow natives. Wait.
Wild.
Yeah. On the other end of the spectrum. Yes.
Okay. I'd say that goes out of dad into dark, but sure, yeah.
Definitely dark.
Somebody replies and it says, "This is embarrassing." And he says, "Not as embarrassing as your take on trans kids. It was not researched. It was cruel and it had no basis in facts. So forgive me if I don't take all your takes that seriously." Who's this person?
Bruh.
Look at the fucking thumbnail. God of Cuck Meltdown. Oh my God, look at this. Oh man. Yeah, sure. Trans kids, for sure, man.
Right, but you're giving an opinion on an article with a headline that's inflammatory. So the fact that you're giving an opinion on what's on screen,
can I focus on the inflammatory nature of the headline?
Well, can I assume that everything in this article you would agree with?
You shouldn't assume. It makes an ass out of yourself and me.
Okay, so then
down his timeline, you're gonna see a lot of ass and titties. Okay, me on my Twitter timeline, you ain't gonna see none of that. As a matter of fact, like I can show you, I can scroll down my entire news feed on Twitter. Why would you ruin my point? I'm trying. God damn. Why would you ruin it? I didn't do that. I don't know who this chick is. Why would you do that? I can't even edit it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Someone you love been canceled? Have you been the target of online harassment because of something you said or refused to be compelled to say by the mob? Did you mistakenly think you could be an individual, form your own opinions, and keep all of your friends? Did your social credit score tanked because you had a conversation with, subscribe to, or follow someone who suffers from wrongthink? Have you been called a literal Nazi because you think taking care of one's physical health is important? Have you tried apologizing for your transgressions only to find out you actually poured gasoline on the they-them flames? Have you ever had a politically incorrect thought or, heaven forbid, made an off-color joke? Well, we here at the Office of the Cancelled are here for you. As a member of the club, we offer exclusive trading cards, flak jackets, lapel pins, access to bomb shelters, as well as audio tracks from based artists that are sure to pump you up for a day at the range and get some of that much-needed two-way therapy. Remember, folks, you're only canceled if you let yourself be canceled, and every one of those collectivist NPCs can go fuck themselves.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
I'll wait some time because the longer we wait, like the more realistic it'll be, you know, when he comes back to life. The touch of the black man in a woke story. The God hand shining down, shining upon thee. White man as you lay down. Cis white man and couple in background. Understand the power of a black man is a God hand.
Pro-black Twitter!
I breathe life into you. One touch is not enough from greatness. One touch from the black man. Watch me do it again. Kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. I bring life. I bring life.
Pro-black Twitter hoes!
That's right! That's right!
Robocock, don't clip that, no!
Bruh.
Oh God, that's getting clipped.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Oh shit. I was doing so good tonight too.
I'm tired of you! Drop it, retard. Robocock.
何アンチ？
そうだ。
テレビ！
つけてもいいぞ。
冒険アニメスパイ
あやこれ好き。
よりによって。
サイレンサー付きの拳銃だと。
ワクワク。
so weird having a shorter intro. I almost feel like there's something missing. I keep looking to the side like, did I forget to play something?
Celebrate the differences. Oh wait, no, you.
Yeah, we used to get played in by that. Let's not do that
R.I.P.
now.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Anyway, actually, you know what? Technically, the beginning of that's not racist, right? So, like,
As long as you avoid the ooga booga stuff, I think you're probably okay.
Bro, they really hit us.
We got to celebrate our differences.
White people are racist.
Bro, they really hate black people, bro.
You got to
You should
clarify
just-
that white people are racist after that clip. There you go. And they'll make them feel better.
You should just massively beep over it. Probably make it even funnier.
The entire clip after that, it's
Yeah.
like beep, 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 beep. Yeah.
Black
What we've
bars over the
seen
mouth
over
and
the past
everything.
5 years is that all cries of racism have been to eliminate black voices or non-white voices.
Yes.
Look at all these people that have represented whatever just disappear off of
R.I.P.
It's
Aunt
quite funny
Jemima,
if you
Uncle
bleeped
Ben.
all the racist stuff, the apparently racist stuff from that clip. The only voice left is
Land
the white guy.
O'Lakes.
Land
I
O'Lakes,
know.
they got rid of the Indians and kept the land.
It's a wild thing. It's a wild thing. But you know what? That's fine. Listen, we'll play by the rules. We'll be nice a little bit, but the voice. Shut up, kiddo. And the conversation will still continue regardless. So, welcome everybody to the official episode 136 of Saturday Night Hypnosis. The last one was Rumble exclusive. If you missed it, well, that's unfortunate for you.
It was a banger.
It was a
Go
banger.
back
It was
and watch it.
crazy.
There was a lot of F-bombs going on that one. It was
Considering
great.
how crazy this show is every week, imagine that show being on Rumble only. Oh my god, it's terrible.
Yeah, you
We got a
should
lot
do
to
it
talk
once a
about.
month, bro.
There's a lot going on this week, as there is every single week in the industry that we call entertainment, gaming, movies, TV shows, everything. And we got a lot to talk about, like we always do. So we're gonna get right into our intro. I just want to say hello to our special guest. I said I would call him many names, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Mustafa. I am the founder of Sabr Path. That's my channel, Sabr Path. You want me to just go like into what I do?
Save it for the actual intro. I just
Okay.
wanted you
All right, yeah,
to
my
say
name's
hi to
Mustafa.
everybody. There you go. Welcome, Mustafa, to the show. And just avoid this man right here as much as humanly. Where is he at? My kid. There we go. Avoid this man as much as humanly possible. All
I'm
right.
right next to him though.
You know what? That's fine. We're just gonna do that. We're gonna leave him
Slamming it
last.
down here.
I feel all of our hairlines dying when we keep looking at him.
Oh please no, 'cause that's all I've got left. Like,
Oh man. All right, guys. Let's do our intros, starting with Leon, the man who apparently beats his bird. It's interesting.
I don't beat my bird. I don't know what he hurt his foot.
That's
He hurt his
multiple
foot.
meanings.
Yeah, that can mean a multitude of things,
Yeah.
bro.
That was the whole point.
Misses.
Oh, I don't beat my bird, man.
He's sitting here.
Hold
He's
on, man. I'm
chilling,
up
he's
here
on the
beating my
mend.
bird.
He's on the mend. It'll be fine. And yeah, no. Beyond that, let's let the black man take it. I can't even defend myself.
He's not even on screen.
Sorry, you
Oh,
know
'cause
you
he's
don't be
fucking
on camera.
eating.
and
Look at this guy.
Oh my
Guys,
god.
No, you guys seriously can't eat before the show?
I did just
I'm
so
sorry.
like 6 o'clock rolled around. I'm like, you guys
leave
showing
to
an
eat.
hour.
Listen,
I'm
I
eating
took
dinner
my
now.
daughter to the fair. We was at the fair all day. I had to take a
Oh,
shower.
don't
'cause I
pretend
was
you're a good
stinking,
fucking dad.
Okay.
Wait,
And
they
then
don't got
I had
food
to
at the
put it
fair?
in the oven. All right. You said what?
They don't got food at the fair?
Nah, man, I ain't
This
eating that shit. It's like
fucking
I'm not paying for the fair food. The fuck, I'm going to
Yeah, that
Vegas
should
this
be
week.
expensive as hell.
All right, do
doing
your
that.
intro. Come on, do your intro. Go.
But what's going on, everybody? It's Gator, aka a little too short, aka the fine Auntie Hunter, aka the pretty toe wrangler. I hope y'all are gonna enjoy this Saturday stream. It's not gonna be as wild as last week's, unfortunately, but it will still be crazy. I won't be on SNH next week. Probably Leon probably won't either. Because we're gonna be out there in Vegas trying not to touch each other. So make sure that you guys look out for the stream.
I ain't gonna have no issues with that. Just saying.
Oh no. I know I'm not either. I'm worried about you. You know. Well, he's on this
Ryan's
side. I'm worried
giving
about him.
motion sickness.
But yeah, man. Let's have a great stream. Eat your fucking vegetables. I don't know. Let's get it going.
Say your prayers, brother.
Shout out to you, Cassie.
Yo, son, it's gonna be sad hearing about some AIDS going around after this Vegas event, man. It's crazy.
Oh my god, bro.
Gates.
I don't think so.
Sad future predictions that I hope aren't real.
The only thing I'm gonna be fucking is the club up. That's it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
guys, I'm Cult Classic Cage, aka Goonerfist, aka self-proclaimed Queen of the Tomboys. Glad to be here, and it's another week. We're back on YouTube's. We have to put away our gay F slurs and pull out the word Homo sapien instead. So
Unfortunately.
yeah, but definitely happy to be here. I've been playing Schedule 1 low key, bro. It's
Bro,
been
everybody's
kinda
playing
fire.
this game, man. What am I doing? I'm
Dude,
not
it
doing-
caught me too. I was trying to avoid it because I like to avoid all of like the streamer games. Like to me, it just has a
Right.
bad connotation. If it's a streamer game, I don't want to touch it. But like people kept saying, "Oh, it's so good, Cass. Just try it. Just try it." Fine, fuck it, bought it. And it's like, oh well, I was up till 8 in the morning playing that shit.
8 in the morning. Wow.
That's crazy.
The irony of a game designed around drugs being addicting is just pretty hilarious to me.
Absolutely.
But that's just what it is. But shout out to Cult Classic Cage. Welcome. We also got all the SNH members. Their emojis are now on YouTube as well. I've been trying to fix the lack of ABF emoji. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I tried uploading it. It wasn't working. So I don't know if YouTube just like banned ABF's finger or something, but I don't know. I gotta figure it out.
Finger.
They're probably
Yeah.
tired of ABF. They're like, you
Yeah.
spending all this goddamn money on these streamers, these right-wing juds. What are you doing? Anyway, it's fine. All right, Mustafa. Now you can tell everybody who you are, what do you do, what your channel's about, all that good stuff.
Hello. Yeah. So I guess what my channel is about. I'm a game developer. First, my channel is about me talking about my games, but no one watched it. So,
Oh man.
That's wrong.
so I just started talking about what's trending.
Hold
and,
on, I think I have a clip for that. Give me a second. All right, I don't know if that's copyrighted, so that's all
Next
you're
time
getting.
when you start to realize you're not the draw until you are the draw.
I do remember the video that you made. I think it went super viral where you're talking about like your experience with DEI. I remember reacting to that. It was a really good video.
I did
Good
react to
insight.
that too.
Yeah, like the thing is with indie game devs is there's like a whole circle on YouTube, and all they really talk about are either dev vlogs, they talk about the updates to their games, or they talk about how to make games, and then they end up creating an audience of other indie game devs. And I was like, I'm going nowhere with this. I'm just going to start talking about like things that
Relevant.
people really want to hear about. And then my channel blew up after I talked about DEI. And so other than that, I do have experience in the game industry. I worked at Treyarch for 3 years. And then I worked at this like cycling game thing for like almost 4 years until I got laid off. And then after that, I was like, I'll just go try to make my own stuff. So I released a small tower defense game on Steam, and now I'm working on a first-person stealth game, but it's kind of on hold because a lot of stuff happened with my life, like just started a new job, stuff like that. So
nice,
congrats.
yeah, thank you. Hopefully they don't find my channel, so they don't fire me.
Well, the strategy is not to go on a show that usually gets thousands of viewers, but you know what? That's fine. We'll
I
try
mean,
our
it
best.
is what it is. I figure, like I'll deal with it if the conversation comes up with my boss.
Could be like, sir, come in here real quick. Mustafa,
I was held against my will. I don't know.
I
any
need
of
you
these
to
figures.
explain who this man is. And the comments that he made on 4/12/2025, you know, it would bring up a whole bunch of nonsense. Anyway, it's all good. Shout out to you, man. Did you worked on Black Ops 4 or something like that?
Yes, I was at Treyarch during the development of Black Ops 4. I didn't make Black Ops 4. People are like, oh, you made Black Ops 4? No, I was actually working administration.
Cool.
So I didn't really like have an actual part with the game. But yeah, my name is in the credits of Black Ops 4. Also, my name is in the credits of Cold War as well. But I left like right at the beginning of that development.
I'm sorry.
Cool. Very cool. Sheepsidian, take it away, man.
Hello. I as well will not be here next Saturday, and I have a legitimate reason. I will be getting married, so
That
cannot.
is legitimate.
Yeah.
I cannot be here on that Saturday. We've got a lot of shit planned for that. aside from that, it's been a pretty interesting week. A lot of shit happened over the week, but my main focus was getting my copy of Monsters We Make by Corey Kenshin. My physical copy didn't show up yet, but I read the digital, and I have to say I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10 for an upstart for like a brand new series from someone who's never done manga before. He knocked it out of the park. The characters are very believable. It's a great world building, good concepts and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to the next volume and whatever else he may be cooking up. So that's cool. Pretty much my general talk for, I guess, the week.
Very nice. People are asking where is Smash and where's Atreus. So Smash said that he wasn't going to be here because of family or something like that. And Atreus is just out there pretending as if he's hanging out with family when we all know, yeah, he's doing exactly what Will was showing on screen. So
that's how you know he's single.
Show up because he was afraid about getting grilled about gaming from an actual game dev. Like, oh no, I have to admit I don't play games.
Exactly, he ran away.
Only
Ran
Marvel
away.
rivals.
So yeah, if Atreus misses one more, fired, done. I'm gonna run SNH next week. I guess solo. Everybody's gonna be gone. Well, Cassie's gonna be here, right?
Hell yeah.
There you go. Awesome. And then our guest, obviously. Will, the fans, take it away. I don't think Will's going to Vegas, right?
No.
And Ryan definitely doesn't go anywhere. He fucking stinks. He ain't going nowhere.
I have to have like a 23-hour flight to get from the Philippines to Vegas because you can't fly over the Pacific Ocean.
Jesus.
Wait, is
Screw that
Atreus
noise.
going to Vegas next week?
I think he said he was.
Yeah, he is going to be there. Yeah.
I'm gonna have no black protection on the screen. Are you kidding me? Like that's not happening.
You know what?
That's not happening.
I got you. I'll just send you the like my login information. You could just have my shit on the screen.
Perfect. Yeah, that's all I need. Just
I'll
to
get
have some level of protection against
Get a
the
big-ass-
clippers, so that way, when they try to clip everything we say, they're like, "Yes, no black people on the screen. Let's go. Let's run with a rampage on Twitter."
Yeah.
Anyway,
Gotta get a
well,
big ass Puerto Rican flag and put it behind me.
yeah, they don't care about that. They don't care about that. All right, Will, the fans. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. Plus, without me around, the 10-month-old baby, the 6-month-old pregnant wife, the 80-year-old father, I think my family would probably implode if I wasn't here for longer than about 3 hours.
You deserve a cheer for that. Sorry, that was a lot.
That's a family man right there.
Yeah, baby. I'm the only able-bodied person who can drive in this whole family.
Able-bodied. I like it.
Start
My
the
eyes
kid
were-
early.
I mean, it's what it is. It's not. Tell me what I'm telling lies. Yeah, ladies, gentlemen, nothing in between. Hello again. It's been a crazy week. Nintendo Backlash continuing. Of course, in my zone of interest, Doctor Who has returned to cope and seethe about the fans, like the end of She-Hulk, which is the most pathetic thing ever, and surely the harbinger
Planet
of
of
the
incels,
end.
man.
Man, Planet of the Incels. Even an actual
Wow.
line in the episode. It's not just a meme. They actually
Wow.
call it that. It's fucking
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
embarrassing.
Oh, you haven't
There's-
seen the Planet of the Insect?
Yeah. Fucking
The first
What-
episode of the new series of Doctor Who is called The Robot Rebellion, but it might as well be called Planet of the Incels because that is effectively what it is. It's about a guy who is so fucking busted over losing his girlfriend that he becomes like a robo overlord on an alien planet and brings
What?
her there to force
Insane.
her to marry him.
Oh my! What has Doctor Who become, bro? Oh my god!
A parody of itself, of course. It's become She-Hulk, is what it's become
God.
now.
You guys have
So-
had like 50 years. Just stop watching it already. 50 years is
this,
enough.
this is the end. There's no way they're getting another series, and everyone is,
shittiest part
is
of
going
this-
nuts about it.
The shittiest
It-
part of it is that like Russell T Davies was the one that revived Doctor Who. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like determined to be the one who kills it as well. The alpha and the omega, I suppose.
That's insane. That's
maddening.
I
It's
shared it
maddening.
to you, Hypno, if you want to see it.
I don't want to see it. I'm not
they're-
interested in it. Like,
It's just
Well,
a
I mean,
picture.
I'm like legit not joking. The chick who is like kidnapped and taken to a planet that's been named after her, she literally calls it Planet of the Incels. So
Wait,
there it
so
is.
that's actually a line in the
It's
show?
a line in the episode. We thought it
Get
was just a
this shit off
meme.
my screen, bro. Oh my
We thought
god!
it was the thing where people are like, "Oh, so it's Planet of the Incels." We thought that was our meme, but no. She then turns around and literally fucking calls it that. I nearly cringed so hard I traveled back through time myself.
I kind of want to watch it now.
No, you don't.
I'm
Just
good.
watch my review. I went live and did like an hour and 20-minute review of it. So just watch that instead. But anyway, yeah, it's good to be back on the show. Of course, after a couple of weeks away, whether it's Rumble or it's Gamecube, we are still the most inappropriate show on the internet, pushing the boundaries of good taste and sanity. So let's get down to it. Thanks for having me.
Shout out to you, man. And last but not least, this fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
This oscillating camera using motherfucker. I can't stand this. Go ahead.
It's like there's no escape.
It's motion sickness.
Well, from the most responsible member of the panel to the least responsible member of the panel, hopefully you can all hear me and subscribe. Since Atreus isn't here, I might as well steal his line.
Damn. Wow.
Ryan's the kind of guy that would have the 85-year-old man take care of him.
Damn.
Not the other way around.
He's actually going to be 70 in a week's time. Is like, can you cut the garden, Father?
I'm too busy making millions on YouTube.
Ryan did to Atreus what Elvis did to BB King. That's crazy.
I can see Ryan going to his dad and be like, Father, you shall not talk to me this way. I got 50 memberships, mind you. I can see it.
I'm your god now.
How do you people in British? What is it? Like, I got 50 memberships, you bloke, or what is it? What do you guys say? I don't know.
Bloke just means man.
He does ask me how much money I make, and for this month, it is £360, so that's got to be around $400 or something. And he's quite impressed. He is amazed someone as fucking feckless and untalented as me is doing well. My father does not look well upon me at all, and no one else does.
I wonder why that is.
It's great to be here. Thank you all.
All right, well, at
So
least you
proud
know
of you.
you have a home here, unfortunately. So shout out to all you.
Everyone wants me gone. Everyone wants me
That's
gone.
why, like, when people were like, oh, when they were tagging Cassie or whatever, they're like, oh, they're gonna abandon you at any moment. I'm like,
oh yeah,
abandon Cassie? I haven't even abandoned this fucking guy. I should have abandoned this guy a long time ago. Let alone what? It's insane.
Well, I mean,
we don't abandon people on this show; they abandon us.
Sadly talk shit into existence. They're just so desperate for anything to grab onto.
I
Well,
assume that
Cassie,
the
if
logic,
it makes you feel any better, I'll say it. Hey, fuck you, Cassie. You're so
Right.
awesome.
like the logic is real simple. We either shit talk you because we like you, or we shit talk you because we don't like you. It's
Right.
not that
The
difficult.
connotation will decide which way that goes.
Consistency.
All right. Shout out to all you guys again. Welcome everybody on Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. We are live everywhere, boys. We are going to do the number one segment on YouTube, on Rumble, on everywhere right now. The segment that makes certain journalists and mainstream media outlets melt down and complain all the time. Even certain YouTubers, unfortunately, complain all the time as well about this particular segment. And that will be known as the pre-stream legend.
Money, 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 print money, money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, more money, 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 heaps and heaps of money, 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 print money, money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
Now you know you lying, Ryan.
I'm not lying. but
Why are
I
you
have
lying to
been-
people about you don't
I have
fucking
been
drink
s-
soda no more?
I have been streaming so much in order to cope and seethe about not drinking soda, right? It's been a tough process, but I'm getting through it. A side effect, though, is I am eating a lot more.
We have a guest today. Stop lying.
Like
Stop,
quitting
it's not good.
smoking.
Fuck that. Drink all the soda you want. Just switch to
It's quitting
diet.
coking.
By the time that aspartame fucking kills you, you know, you want to die.
Drink some
Jade
water.
Hugo with a 404 says stream not found no more. Wow, this man is rhyming with his own
rhymes.
super chat money. That is amazing. Shout out to you.
Saint Hugo did something very funny on the Old White Road. He came up with a new original name for the show called Friday Night Whites, and I
Oh
swear.
my God.
Yo,
No.
son.
And I swear I was
that.
laughing so much that Dash Attack literally fucking ran away from the show. It's like, I can't be a part of this anymore. Run
You-
away.
You
Laughing so
cannot
hard,
start.
it came out of his
Actually,
nose.
I want you to start that show. Can you, if you haven't already, please start that show.
Well,
Vicious.
yeah.
Let me get through super chats. Vicious with the 20 membership banger, you absolute legend. He dropped this like an hour before we started. Vicious, thank you so much, you legend, man. Fucking 20 memberships. That is amazing. And then it goes downhill. We got Hypno's dog. I don't know where this creature came from.
Oh my God.
I have no idea.
Is that from Elden Ring?
It showed up yesterday and it has not left. And it's like one of those chihuahuas that keeps trying to piss on your ankles. And it's like, leave me alone. Hypno's
we call
dog
an
for
ass
2.
gal.
Can I has treats, please, father? Okay.
It looks like he doesn't worth the rift.
Hypno's dog with another 2. Will resort to Ryan's wig father and his postman.
You ever see that video with that cat? He's like, Ma, the fucking thing looks like grandma.
It's terrible. St. Hugo with a 5. Welcome to SNH, where we do what the modern audience doesn't do, and that is to have a good time. Let's fucking go. Look at this guy stealing my Griffcast line. That's amazing. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you. And then we got Jimmy Collins for 1 month says, welcome back, SNH and Hypnotic, a return to normality. Yes, and like the stream, boys. Come on. Like the stream on YouTube, on Rumble, everywhere. There's a like button, except for Twitch. They don't have a like button. Adair Soto for 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. We got Saku Kocho, a.k.a. Kocho Shark Dragon, for 12 months says, let's fucking go. What a week. Hypno back from YouTube jail as Nintendo debate is wild as heck. Fraud, fandom, Pulse, still whining and crying as Ubicell still being Ubicell. That's actually a good name for them, Ubicell.
That fucking website. They went after Miss Rachel, who is like a baby entertainment channel on YouTube.
I saw that. Yeah.
And she's like she's trad lib, so you know she's like she did like a happy pride video, so it was like a throwaway thing. You can let it go. My kid watches her, so she's like boundlessly entertained by this woman. And then they went after her for having a surrogate for her second kid, and they called it slavery. They called it stealing a baby.
They did the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 smear.
I mean,
That's what they
they
did.
really did. Yeah. Wow.
Bro, at this point, that website is literally the opposite end of Kotaku. Like Kotaku's hardcore left. They are hardcore right. Like I don't even know. I don't even want to call them right because at this point, there's something in and of itself. I don't even know what it is, but
it's
R, but it stands
JFK
for
used to
retard.
make sense.
actually, Cassie, you're probably right on that.
Yeah.
But shout out to Kocho. Thank you so much.
I use their sources all the time, but I don't attribute the website. I'm that desperate for topics.
That's bullshit.
Yo, son, throw this
Just
dude in
have
the gulag, bro.
ChatGPT rewrite the article.
Thank you.
How
He's
can
in
you
the
be taken
gulag.
seriously using their...
No one
There are-
fucking takes me seriously, Cassie. That's the
This
point.
is why, motherfucker.
Even his dad doesn't take him seriously.
That's fair. That's fair.
Even
Gaming
your
Mason,
parents don't take you serious.
the gaming Mason, who is the high priest of the cult of Big D, for $4.99, says live from the Hypnoverse. It's Saturday Night Hypnosis. Are you the announcer now? Shout out to you. BioT Wolf with a 2. What goes in hard and comes out soft? Gum.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
That was bad. That was bad. Mustafa, you can say if a joke is bad, you can say it. Don't worry, they won't get offended.
I mean, a lot of these jokes are bad.
Yeah, they're gonna be bad.
Kind
Don't
of
worry.
the point.
It's okay. Archangelus with a 10. Hello to everyone on the panel. Pussycat, everyone in the chat, and I will say it again. Welcome back, Hypnotic. I really miss things like this. Looking forward to tonight's stream. Shout out to you. Much appreciated. Thank you for the 10. And yeah, it's good to be back, man. But just so you know, if I ever disappear, I'm either dead or I was banned. So go to Rumble and I'll be there every day. Taffy gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Thank you, Taffy. Another legend dropped some bangers yesterday. Death Star with a 2. Hypnotic sucks at video games. Hashtag Switch 2 is a scam.
Yeah, it is.
All right, at least you tell the truth half the time. We got James Opp with a 2. Kata out there looking for Fairfoot.
Yeah, give him the drums.
No, I'm kind of curious. Is that true or not true?
I don't even know what that is.
I mean, do I dare?
I think you do. Bulk squat thrust for a 5. Not everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Not when
Yeah,
you
like
live
those
stream
STD
it.
tests. They're definitely not going to stay in Vegas. That's for sure. Nathan Moon for a 2. Yo, by the way, somebody said in the chat to strap up.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's. Oh, we lost our guest. Oh no, he got disconnected. He'll come back. Somebody said. Oh, he was saying he's going to leave. He can't hear anything.
Yeah, he's
yeah, he had audio issues.
Somebody said in the I think it was Lovely Sherry. She said to strap up, and I'm like, you're talking to like there's some Puerto Ricans on the panel, right? We don't use straps. Like
black as well. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know about black people or white people, but Puerto Ricans. Anyway, Nathan Moon for a 2. Kata, if you wake up with ABF mask on, it's too late.
Shout out, Nathan.
There you go.
As long as he pays me.
Let me add him back. Hold on, he came back. Can you hear it now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you guys now. I was having
Okay. Oh, that's weird.
StreamYard.
Mr. Melancholy with a 5. Planet of the Incels. My God, these writers aren't even qualified to work at a register at Arby's. Damn. That might be true. Little Kata abandoned love child for a 2. Speaking of incels, where's my fair food at, Dad?
Oh man.
At the fair.
Golly.
That's crazy. I could see Kata fucking paying to get into the fair, and then his kids are like, "All right, I want this, I want that." It's like, nah, it's too expensive. It's too
Literally.
expensive.
Is
Go
that
steal
what
it.
fair
Go
food
steal
is?
it from another kid whose parents paid.
We had a bag with food in it. What the hell? It's gonna get rid of food.
Sends the kids out to go steal from everyone else and then pull up for the little picnic.
Exactly. The Gaming Mason, 4 or 5. Ryan Roger Athe stealing Atreus' line. Haven't whites taken enough from blacks?
We haven't taken enough.
There you go.
Black Jesus with a 5. Don't worry, I got your back. Hypno, everyone else, repent. Thank you, Black Jesus. I'm going to have to put Black Jesus on the screen next week. Anime Mania gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Thank you, Anime Mania. I appreciate that. We got Adam E with a 5. It's time to get hypnotized and smoke. Anyone else weary about the Oblivion situation?
Yeah,
Well, they keep moving the goalposts on that. They keep
What's up with
announcing
that,
it might
bro?
come out
Every day
tomorrow.
they're like, "Oh, it's gonna get shadow drop tomorrow," and then the next day it's like, oh, "Okay, it's gonna be shadow drop tomorrow." And
You know what it is? It's because motherfuckers know that I want it that bad. That's why they fucking with me, bro.
Is it not going to be just like an up-res? Like I don't really know much
Nobody
about
knows
it.
anything. Everyone
It
is
seems like
said
they'll censor
something
it.
different. So
Are they re-releasing Oblivion? I haven't heard anything about it.
Why would you need that when you've just got enough? You've got enough mods already to basically make it look like it came out yesterday.
Fucking remakes and re-releases and shit. Get that out of here.
I'm not stressed.
I am. God damn it.
I'm
I just
getting
don't
stressed
understand.
hearing this right now.
Just
So
don't
they're,
understand
they're
what
coming
the-
out
what
with
the joy is here.
is it classified as a remaster, right? Not a remake?
Well, they're calling it
Supposed
remake.
to be being
Are they?
technically remade to run on Unreal Engine 5. So
Okay, so there's your answer, Mustafa. It's a remake. I just wasn't sure what they were classifying it as. Well, I guess it'll drop when it drops. Benjamin becoming a member, all on his own. Shout out to Benjamin. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We got Radio Chimp for 4 months saying absolutely nothing. 0. Zip. Zilch. Shout out to you. Old Man Cad for 2 months says, glad you're back, brother. Evening all. What's up, Old Man Cad? How you doing? We got Crowbar the Skull with a 2 says Rumble was better because we could say the N-word.
True.
And the F
Yeah,
word.
the chat was going pretty crazy on Rumble. I'm not going to lie to you. But that's fine. You guys could do that over there. Raptor Kratos with a 10. I got hit with false copyright claims from Orpheum Hexacorp. So here's some money.
That's what's up.
Okay. I didn't know that's how you handle copyright claims. I feel bad saying I hope you get more, but that's,
yo,
whatever. I appreciate you. I'm just fucking around. Saiko for $4.99. SNL is brought to you by Latino. If you want your project to be done within minutes, Latinos will get it done and blacks will destroy it. There you go.
There it is.
That's Ryan Rodriguez's alt account.
Mustafa's over
probably.
here like, the fuck did I sign up for?
I tried to warn him. But it's fine. Adair Soto with a 5. What's black and white and red all over? A crushed nun. Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
That's
That's rough.
crazy.
Newspaper's
dark.
better, man. What the fuck?
That's rough. And this fucking creature. Hypno's dog for it too. Millicent says, hi, father. Not sure how you know her. Bro. Oh my God, bro. Somebody control this fucking dog. Seriously, I don't know where this dog
Man, you
came
got a
from.
talking dog. That's cachet.
What happened? What'd you say, Leon?
So we need a Caesar Milan in chat.
We do.
No Milan.
Anti-Federalist Pain gives 1 membership over on Rumble. Shout out to you, Anti-Federalist Pain. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Then for $1, he says Rumble's better. Everyone go to Rumble and make me money. It's because he has investments in Rumble. That's why. Anti-Federalist Pain for a 5. It's funny they call our side incels. I'm willing to bet there are more successful employed married people on our side than theirs.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a fact. That's 100% a fact. 100%. And then Adam Eve for 2 mods. Psh, hopefully it's not GTA remastered.
Damn.
Yeah, we don't talk about
they
GTA
broke
remastered.
that fucking game. Those games.
And the fact that game is literally a worse version, pretty much.
Yeah,
for the most
they
part.
broke it. I mean, it works
update
okay
it,
now, but
and it plays a lot better now. But it's still not what you want when you.
it's fine now. But you missed your window of relevance.
This is why the whole remastering of modern-ish games, I don't know. I can't stand it because the GTA, it was not that old. There was no reason to remaster it, but
Correct.
I understand why they do it. They do it because they need to buy time and people will buy it. They're going to make more money for the same thing, little investment, and they need to buy time for the next GTA. So just re-release. That's what Naughty Dog does, man. They re-release the same game over and over and over again.
Bro, fucking Last of Us
with Naughty Dog.
fucking complete collection. Get out of here. Get that shit.
How much is it? Like $110 or something?
120, I think. And I can't wait for the next one. 5 years from now, they're gonna be like The Last of Us, the complete ultimate edition. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, it's like Street Fighter 4 all over again.
It's terrible.
Yes.
These games, man. That's what they're doing. James Opp with a 5. AAA has no original ideas left, only remakes and poor sequels.
Correct.
This guy knows.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Holy
Ryan's
shit.
diverse dad.
That's so
How
fucking quick.
quick? That was fast, man.
That was super
How does your
quick.
dad have more hair than you?
Ryan's
He's
diverse.
black.
Fucking does. Okay. The
Oh my
craziest-
god.
The craziest thing about this post, folks, is apart from the fact that he looks a bit too black, that is an honest to God representation of what my father looks like.
Ryan's just
That's
reversed.
insane.
You,
So he does have more hair. That's
you
crazy.
with
He looks
talcum
younger than
powder
you.
in
Yeah,
your
he
beard.
looks younger than you.
Ryan's diverse dad for a 5. It's okay, son. These people don't know about your secret that you're half black from the waist down. Now
Thank
we
you
know
very
that's
much.
bullshit.
I got to shout because my microphone's further away. Thank you very much for your donation. My father, he got up. First thing he
He's
did
leaning
to check
forward.
on me. Then he went out to do some dangerous driving at nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. He's that
Hell
guy.
yeah. Based.
So
That's
he's
how I
actually
roll.
active. That makes sense. Adair Soto with a 5. What do you call it when an Italian has one arm shorter than the other? A speech impediment. Oh, that is insane.
Babidi boopy.
I love it.
That is insane. Anti-Federalist Pain with a 2. Naughty Dog be like consume product and get excited for same product.
Yep.
Fact.
9 times.
And then
Nine
Mystic
times.
Vegeta for $1. Wow, look, 3 copies of Time Cop remastered for only $9.95. It's so bad, bro. I'm really sick of that re-release nonsense. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate
Anyway,
it.
all right, we are fully caught up everywhere. Thank you guys so much for the insane support. Obviously, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, everything will be caught up in time as more come in. I appreciate you. We're going to get into the topics. First thing we're going to talk about is this new game from Bungie that I didn't even realize was a thing until about a day ago.
Wait.
And that's what?
Cass, you and I were literally talking about Bungie on Mugen's show yesterday. How'd you not bring up the fact they got a new fucking game?
Well, they dropped information about it today. And
Oh, I thought
Yeah, the
no, man,
gameplay reveal
released.
trailer
Okay.
was dropped 3 hours ago, about 2 hours ago, so 5 hours ago.
Okay, so with the way you phrased it, I thought you were like, yeah, they just dropped a new game. It came out. So you mean it's revealed a new game? Okay, my bad. I misunderstood.
Yeah, so this
We
new
were
game
talking
is
mad trash on Bungie yesterday.
this new game is called Marathon. Now, the reason why a lot of people are talking about it is obviously, like most things these days, is not for anything good. The Marathon gameplay reveal has come with a little bit of information that I think a lot of people should know. But people are screaming Concord 2.0 with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the trailer. I have it here pulled up. We'll look at the trailer together and kind of get impressions. But one thing I think is pertinent information is that, and I think this is the thing I'm going to have the biggest issue with. This is what I said in my video, was that this is not a free-to-play game. It sure as fuck looks like it, but it's not a free-to-play game. It is a game that's going to charge you, not full price, but it's going to charge you probably $40 entry, very similar to Concord. So they're pulling a Firewalk Studios where they're entering a team shooter style arena that is highly competitive against mostly free-to-play titles, if not almost all free-to-play titles. And they're charging you a premium to join their game when nobody else charges you anything.
Straight up looks like a female version of Ronan the Accuser.
Yes. Yes.
You know, speaking of the character design, just real quick, I want you guys to like pay attention. Are there any guys in the trailer?
Oh shit!
Because when I watched the trailer, I was like, is everybody a woman? Because like everyone has like this face right here. So like
either women.
Maybe
or
I'm
robots.
wrong.
Right. So I believe this game is not necessarily a team shooter per se. I think it's more of like what do you call that?
Extraction shooter.
It's like an extraction shooter. Yeah, it's more like that. But regardless, it is a team-oriented shooter that is going to, basically charge you a price to go into entry, and they would not even make it a point of conversation unless they knew that people were expecting them to basically compete against free-to-play games. They brought it up. They haven't told anybody the price yet, but they had to tell people that they are going to charge for it. And it makes you wonder, why would they even bring it up? Because obviously people are comparing them to free-to-play titles. So, but let's check this out. Here we go. I was about to say Concord. Jesus Christ. Marathon from Bungie. Really quick, I hate this. I hate
the creators of Halo and Destiny as it's going to be anything like Halo and Destiny.
Like they still fucking work there. Shut up.
Exactly. I hate this. When they do this, they know exactly what they're doing, because there ain't nobody that still works there. That, at least not many anyway. They worked on the original Halo and Destiny that people actually liked. Like, no, that's not a thing. More
like
so
implying
probably
that people who
Destiny than
still
Halo.
work at Rocksteady are still the same fuckers who made Arkham Asylum.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna hate because I keep on talking about Black Ops 4 in the beginning of my videos. So
no, I get it. Listen, ride the wave of whatever success you had. I understand, but just from a studio perspective, like I just see it as a little bit insulting, because that's like maybe people just look at it from a basic point of view. But
you worked on the game, like you actually did. Like who's to say there's still creators that belong, are at Bungies that actually can say the same thing about their games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
I'm
in name alone.
I'm gonna start selling my manga on a line of, from a fan of Bleach comes a new manga.
From a fan of Bleach. I like that. All right, let's continue. I'm gonna play the whole thing through, and then we'll talk about it.
I don't know, man. I'm not seeing anything happen. I just keep going.
Death. The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
Music is ass.
The whole trailer is ass.
looks like. This game looks like they're trying to essentially steal Ape Sex Legend players, but it's like, bro, Titanfall 3 is coming out. So.
I can't see my eyes, but I was rolling them the entire trailer, dude.
Bruh.
This shit looks like modded Destiny.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
Exactly.
It looks
Even
a
like
game
the
that came out in 2008 that I still wouldn't have bought in 2008.
Yeah.
Nothing about this
No.
resembles the original Marathon. Like, I'm mildly familiar with the original Marathon that came out on Mac, and it looked mostly like Doom. And this
Nice.
looks
Wow.
this hardly resembles
Yeah.
it at all. Like,
That
the only
is
thing that
insane.
has like that's mildly familiar to Marathon is that Marathon was like Doom, but rather than fighting demons, you're fighting aliens, and there was like some AI stuff involved, and that is in this trailer, the AI stuff. But other than that, it's very different.
Well, we
Yeah, I
are
saw a
getting
picture on
a
Twitter,
single
a com-
player, right? We're getting a campaign for this, right?
No, not to my knowledge. No.
What?
So wait, it's
No,
just
there-
the extraction mode. There's no like
Dude,
single
even
player
Destiny
to it?
didn't have a campaign, did it? Like,
So what
Yes,
is this?
it-
Okay,
Destiny
my
had a
first
campaign.
question. My first question,
Okay.
really quick. What is this supposed to compete with? Like Helldivers, I guess.
No.
good fucking luck.
No. Well,
Uh-huh.
it's a Sony
Like
game, so
gameplay-wise,
obviously they
gameplay-wise.
don't want it to compete with their own IPs. But this is looking like it's trying to compete with free-to-play games, despite not being free-to-play. So
It
So,
does look
wait,
like
yeah,
a
it
free to
does
play
look
game
like
to
a
me.
free to play. Yeah, you're
supposed to go
right. That's
Marvel Rivals? Is that what
It
it's
looks
supposed to go
cheap.
up against?
yo, I can't wait for the PlayStation fanboys to defend this one, because PlayStation fanboys were shitting on Halo Infinite in terms of visuals. They're like, this doesn't look that good. It doesn't look that good. This shit looks worse.
Yep.
yeah.
It does.
So from I don't know. I guess let's start from our let's break it down, man. Graphically speaking, it's definitely got that modern audience vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got that like high contrast colors kind of a thing going. A lot
Light
of
colors, yeah.
pink, a lot of purple, a lot of green. In terms of
Bisexual
whether or not,
lighting.
I mean, I'm trying to pause right on this creature. There we go. Yeah. So,
Looks like a Tranoid, yeah.
in terms
They're
of
all
like,
androgynous.
whether or not there's a man in the trailer, I saw a few. But the thing is, the ironic thing is that the men that I think are men can't see their faces. The women, you could clearly see their faces. But the men are armored up, can't see their faces. So, but I'm just judging based off the body type. But then again, you never know these days. The helmet
I'm
could
just
come
happy
off.
to
It
Looks
see
could be
Lady
burned up
androgynous
while I
I'm
know.
in a
shit.
video game. Like,
What happened?
I'm just happy to see Lady Gaga getting into the game industry. Like, that's,
Oh my
oh
god.
my
It looks
No.
like
That's
it.
what it
Ironic,
is.
Bro, we
Yeah,
gotta
that is
Um,
right.
Like, as
So-
far as visuals, I feel like a big mistake a lot of developers go for is it's unique. But unique does not mean good. Unique is not the
exactly.
same thing as good.
Didn't they use that same excuse with Concord when they were trying to
Yes.
say like it's
Yeah.
a very, very unique style, like realistic, but also cartoony models in a way, not necessarily.
Unique
I don't
means
know.
you stand out. Unique is not the same as good.
This
Yeah,
is-
sometimes
Ryan,
when you
it's so
stand out, it's
unique.
usually not for a
Everything
good
looks
reason.
the fucking same now anyway,
This
so it doesn't
game-
stand out.
this game looks so like it's competing with Halo's Leftovers. I don't know if you guys played a game called Splitgate. I played it for a little while. It was actually pretty fun,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
never got that mainstream attention or appeal. But Splitgate,
Isn't that getting a sequel?
The
Cassie?
second
Yeah.
one,
Yes,
the second
and
one is trans as
it looks
fuck.
terrible. The second one, but the first
It looked
game
pretty
was
good.
actually pretty solid for what it was. It was a Halo clone, but it was a really fun Halo clone, and that even looks better than this. This game, like, not to come off as like relatively disrespectful, but I was saying on Twitter, it looks like it was made by a small handful of people. Like, if they said, "Oh, coming from independent developers in this new
Mhm.
group," I would be like, "Oh, that's kind of impressive for them," shout out to them. But this is made by Bungie under Sony, so it's like this is not impressive to me.
When I first heard about the game, I didn't know who actually made it. I was just going based off pictures that were being spread on Twitter, and people were talking about Marathon. I'm like, the fuck is Marathon? And I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, all right, this is probably some like, I don't know, indie to most likely AA style. I got to find out who the developer is. And then eventually, as I'm looking for, stories today, I find out, they dropped the gameplay trailer. So I was like, all right, let me react to it. And I realized, oh, it's Bungie. Like, this is Bungie. This is not some small studio. So I got to imagine there was a lot of people that worked on this game, but the product is just not, it's not screaming to me a big team. Like you said, it's screaming most likely AA at best.
Like
At
12
best. But I've seen indie games look like this these days. I was reacting to, I don't know if you guys have watched it, the Triple I Initiative showcase, where it
I
was
saw
like an
some of your
hour.
reaction to that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like an hour of indie games.
Yeah.
And some of these indie games that are coming out, bro, I mean, my God, dude, we're talking like Elden Ring level graphics and gameplay. It's wild how good some of these indie developers are. So when I see something like this, and I'm no longer impressed anymore. And maybe that's just me becoming more black pilled. I really don't know, but I'm not impressed. Like, this is a big studio. This is not, and also, this is also not a noob studio either. This is a studio that has made games like this in the past, right? They have experience. They, they like to tell you they did Halo, they did Destiny. All right, so why the fuck does this look like this then? I feel like it could look a lot better for a studio of this size. Am I crazy? I mean, I don't know.
No, you're on the ball. Like when we look at indie
No, he's
devs,
crazy.
naturally our expectations are low, not in a disrespectful way, but sometimes you're getting games made by one person or 10 people or even more than that. So naturally our expectations are low, but they constantly impress us with all this insane stuff that they're able to do. Having essentially a lot of things stacked against them naturally, and then AAA, they have all this money at their disposal, and all these all these little gimmicks that, oh well, like you said, with oh, this is coming from the creators of Halo and Destiny, like our expectations are way higher, and these games are more expensive, and it doesn't impress us.
Do you feel like if this was not made by Bungie and it had the same graphics and same everything, whatever, do you feel like you would be more lenient on it? Or do you feel like you're being a little more critical because of the history of the developer making it?
I'm definitely more critical because I expect more of Bungie. They
What
are
was the,
capable of a lot. But if this
what-
was made by an indie team of some sort, even if it was a relatively bigger indie team and I never heard of them before, oh shit, okay. Like, it's not necessarily my style, but I could see that, hey, they're trying to shoot out here. They're trying to, take down Apex Legends. I mean, like, if a small indie team is trying to do that, I mean, they're aiming high, even if it's not necessarily my style.
I do want to put something out there
game?
really quick, really fast, Will, about this game being compared to Concord. I don't think it's going to be the same situation, even though we are going to see similarities between the two, especially with the price point entry fee. I just don't think it's going to happen because Firewalk Studios was relatively unknown for the most part. Nobody really, nobody cared about them. They didn't have the legacy and the history of Bungie. No matter what you feel about them, they do have a legacy behind them. And I think that's enough to carry them through to some initial sales. But then word of mouth is going to decide whether or not they become successful or not, I think, with this title. Whereas with Concord, it was cooked from the beginning. I mean, obviously with the fucking pronoun stuff, the characters being god awfully ugly, and overall the design looking bland and boring, and then nobody knows who you are on top of that, and you're charging a fucking fee when you're trying to compete with Overwatch and Valorant, who are free to play. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster, Whereas this, I think Bungie's name will carry it through, at least through the initial small hurdle, and then the rest, it's kind of up in the air. Sorry, Will, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, what was the game that was the second trailer at the Real Game Awards that kicked up all the Hell's Delight for being featured? The FPS that we all said looked super impressive. Because
second game?
Yeah, it was the trailer that was basically like a really fun looking indie FPS. It doesn't necessarily matter, but the point is, it was mid-tier looking FPS, but we were all super impressed because it was indie. If you turned around and told me that was made by Bungie, I'd...
What you're talking about?
The Real Game Awards, yeah. The trailer where they...
That developer that went crazy, that one's Sulaco.
Yeah, we went nuts. I can't think what the game was called, but that was it. Salatro, yeah. I think no way was it? I don't fucking remember, but it doesn't matter.
It's Sulaco.
That's it. Yeah. So like, all I'm saying is that was a decent looking game for an indie.
I'm
dev.
sorry, Selaco with an E, not O. Selaco, Selaco. That's the game.
Right.
Selaco.
So I mean, all I'm saying at the end of the day is that that's like a modest looking FPS that looked like a lot of fun, and everyone was really kind to it because it's indie. If you told me that was made by Bungie, I'd have been like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
So that's
now,
it.
didn't some of the Firewalk team go over to these other PlayStation studios, including Bungie? Didn't some of them get absorbed into these studios from Concord?
So.
Because they didn't
Wouldn't be
fire everybody.
surprised.
They shut down the studio, don't get me wrong, and they fired most of the people. But I believe I remember seeing some people were moved over, not necessarily to this game. I'm just saying in general, like they moved over. I believe some of them went to Bungie and other studios within PlayStation. So I gotta imagine if Firewalk Studios, imploded on itself, those people, the gaming industry, unfortunately, they kind of fail upwards. Like we see this happen all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if some Concord people landed on this game. Like, oh, round 2, baby. I wouldn't be surprised.
Interestingly, somebody put out it was Icon Era, like a year ago or more, a year and a half, 2 years ago, put out an article saying that Firewalk Studios was filled with veterans from Bungie and loads of other like Activision and Raven Software, Respawn, and BioWare. So then they've just ended up back where they started. Then, if that's the case,
I'm trying to think of what could be considered some of the most popular extraction shooters, because I feel like this kind of a genre is not that big.
Tarkov?
Yeah, Tarkov is the biggest
Tarkov
one.
is probably the biggest one, yeah.
Tarkov? What's the player base for Tarkov looking like on average?
It's hard to say.
It's escape from Tarkov, right?
Yeah, it's its own thing. It's not on Steam, so it's hard to say what the numbers are.
Oh, okay. So what's something that's like we can tangibly look at that is, Hunt Showdown? Is Hunt Showdown an extraction shooter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that game's not that crazy, right?
Not really, but it is a Crytek game.
It is a Crytek game, that I know. Yeah, I don't know. Latino Heat saying Division 2. Is Division 2 considered a extraction shooter?
Yeah, but that hasn't been popping for a while.
Yeah, that game. Like I haven't heard anything from the Division.
It's stayed alive for a long time.
Somebody in the chat said Warframe.
Warframe's
Warframe
yeah,
is
that's a
an
pretty good
extraction.
example. Except it's
Is it?
third person.
One thing that I keep thinking about with this trailer is that they're just grossly mishandling the IP. Like, I mean, I'm not like some super fan of Marathon or anything. I barely played it. I had a friend who had a Mac and he had Marathon, but it's like, why even use Marathon if they're gonna make a game that looks nothing like it, that hardly resembles it? Like, if they wanted to build off the universe and be like, okay, we're kind of bringing back Marathon, we want to make this spin-off game that's within the universe, they can do something like Apex Legends, which is within the universe of Titanfall, and just is a spin-off, is different gameplay. But this reminds me of, I don't know if you guys remember, on the Xbox 360 there was a Shadowrun multiplayer game that just, like, it came out and it died instantly because no one thinks multiplayer shooter when they think Shadowrun. Shadowrun is an RPG, and then they made this completely online multiplayer game, and everyone's like, what is this Shadowrun game? And it just died instantly. And I feel like the same thing with Marathon. They're just completely mishandling the IP. Like, hey, we have this IP, let's just use it. None of the fans are going to want to play this game.
I feel like since considering it's an extraction shooter, from the games that I can see, they don't usually have pretty large player bases, but they usually have pretty dedicated player bases. So if it's a game that is liked by a small group of people, usually it could carry the game through. And I think, like I said earlier, I think Bungie's name is going to give them the initial player base that they need, and then it's up to Bungie to keep them. Right? It's kind of like what we saw, even though Helldivers is a little bit different. What we saw with Helldivers, they had a massive influx of players, and they just didn't keep them. Right? They dropped from, 460,000 concurrent players on Steam to now they average 50K or so, which is still a good number. Don't get me wrong, but you clearly lost a lot of your player base. So I guess I don't know. We have to see, I suppose. Do you guys think this is going to be a game that's going to have any kind of longevity? Nope. I'm looking at the character designs, and I got to tell you, man, they are wholly uninteresting.
Completely generic. That's my main takeaway, is that the world looks uninspiring. It's just a bunch of like bright geometric shapes, and the characters look very generic. They look like crash test dummies. Like, I don't care about any of what was happening on the screen.
Yeah, no, I was just like, ungripped the entire time.
I'm looking at pictures of the original Marathon, and it's so crazy.
Oh, don't do
because
that.
It really looks like a futuristic Doom first-person shooter. It
Can you
looks
bring it
really
up?
cool.
Can you
Like,
put
I
it on
wish
screen?
wish I had the opportunity to play it, but Bungie made Mac games back in the day, and I didn't know what the fuck a Mac was. I had a Packard Bell.
Oh,
in the
nice.
game, so-
Wow. I remember
See,
that.
this I thought was a man, but again, all the male figures have helmets on, so they're not showing the faces of the people,
Yeah,
which
this
is
is
very
nothing like what you'd expect.
It's like when game series would get revived after like 20 years, a couple of generations ago, and they would look nothing like the original. Like they did it with Bomberman, for example, and that
Mhm.
was like a really cute, cartoony graphics kind of game. And then when it came back, it was all like dark and
Super
mechanical
serious.
looking
Yeah.
and fucking awful.
Y'all need
Yeah.
to watch the actual gameplay. It's so meh. Like just
for
It's
what?
so weird
for
because
for a marathon, this new one.
this
Oh.
The actual
game,
gameplay.
like from what I'm seeing of Marathon, it's looking like you fighting like these bug-like creatures. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they're inspired by, but they look sort of bug-like or just otherworldly, and it's like, what are we fighting in this
Mm.
game? It's like, are you guys so desperate to recreate
Each other.
Halo or something?
Yeah,
Mm.
That
in the original, you're fighting aliens, and also there's some AI elements that were speaking to you, and some of them were like, "Oh, I'm this genius AI, but yet my job is to open this door for you, so my life sucks."
yeah, I was getting the vibe of like humanoid bugs, but I guess they are aliens, and I think that
Yeah.
that's so much more interesting than what the fuck is this, you know?
I don't know.
Anything
I
would be more interesting.
And
What was
even
that?
this like big planet that's floating in the sky the whole time, it just reminds me of Destiny, having the giant
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it was. I can't even
It
remember
just looks
anymore.
like Destiny to me. Like as
Yeah.
somebody that played a lot of Destiny, like a lot of it, just looks like modded Destiny. I'm not interested.
It
Yeah.
does. That's exactly right. It looks like they've gone with like Destiny and they've just covered it in these kind of pukey colors, and that's about
Uh-huh.
it.
yeah, man,
Destiny
this
has
color
really
hue.
good art design, but this just
Horrible.
looks
Turquoise, purple, neon yellow, neon green.
You know
Crazy
what's
how-
funny when I was playing Split Fiction with Smash, they have some of their stuff, mainly like 1 or 2 fantasy levels, has the whole like bisexual lighting thing, the whole purple, pink,
Yeah.
fucking annoying hue. But the funny thing is that even though it had that hue, most of the actual level wasn't that color. Most of the actual level was like your lush green forest and whatnot.
Right.
It just happened to be there was like one castle in the background that had some form of like a smoke or something like that had that, or like, it had that like pink and purple kind of look to it, but it wasn't so overtaking. Like I cannot stand when this stuff is so overtaken like this. It just looks washed. I don't know if that's the right word, but it just looks washed to me.
It
So
lacks
anyway,
depth.
It's like what we were saying about Splitgate. If you even look at just the picture of the box art for that, it's just trans colors and vaguely ethnic characters, androgynous and shit. It's completely lost the identity it had in the original.
While we're looking at this image right here, like all the characters look very dead as in their face. Like their eyes have no life.
Yeah.
Also, their lips, like everybody has black lipstick on, and what that does to a character is that it makes them appear more dead because red lips. I mean, we know when women usually wear makeup, they have put red lipstick on because that signifies like the fertility. But when you put on the opposite, which is blue, that's more death. That makes the woman look more dead. So when you have like blue or black lipstick, that enhances the fact that these characters look more dead. They lack life.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed too is that this character here on the bottom left looks to be, again, I don't know if this is male. I'm actually looking at the lips. It might not be, but again, if it is,
looks like a Titan.
if it is male, it's like, again, his face is covered. Every female seems to have exposed face. I don't understand the significance of that. It's kind of odd to me. Do we think this game will do well is the question. Do we think it will
It's a banger.
Be honest. Do we think it's gonna? It's a banger. Yeah,
Hey,
it's a banger.
considering
Right?
the way we've reacted to it, most of us never having seen it before, probably not.
So do
the
we think?
entire
Here's
internet
a,
is like, nah, I'm good on that.
Here's a more
always
fun
is.
question because it's Bungie, right? It's PlayStation, and I feel like this is a proper, question to ask because I haven't seen anything aside from the really ugly fucking characters. Do we think it will be woke? And do you think we will know about it before it actually releases?
I don't think that's the biggest problem with this project. How is more of the
I
same
didn't say
going?
it was. I'm just
to
saying. Do you think it's gonna have like
Probably.
Concord? Concord had the
Well,
pronouns,
it's
for
Bungie,
example.
right? Because they retconned a lot of stuff for Destiny 2, making like two of the most masculine looking characters gay. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if they do something like that with this game.
Okay. Anybody else?
But like to the degree of like Concord or anything else, I don't know. I would hope not, but
I don't think that they need to, given the way the game looks. But you never know with this climate, with these deranged leftist lunatics that have to force their ideology into stuff.
To be honest, like with Concord, the wokeness wasn't even nowhere near the biggest issue. It was just something that people used to make fun of the game that already had all these other issues tied to it. So it's kind of similar to this. Like I'm looking at this game, and the last thing I'm thinking about is any potential wokeness because, to be honest with you, I can't even get past some of the initial problems that I see with it. But I just asked the question because I think it's a fun question to ask.
If we're talking about like gender identity, like if they don't include the pronouns in the selection, if they don't include that, my guess is just from watching the trailer, it looks like all of it looks like there's a possibility that all of the bodies are going to be the same, just very androgynous, and you can't tell if it's male or female.
Now, the excuse that they have for that, and I don't know if you can add some, developer knowledge to this. The excuse that they always come out with that, and they use this for Rainbow Six Siege with the whole 2B nonsense, was that they keep the bodies the same in order for hit detection. But considering the style of gameplay here, I gotta imagine probably bullshit, right? Like that's
No, you don't.
Necessarily true.
So the only thing that needs to stay the same, as far as hit detection, well, hit detection is less important. It's more animation is more important than hit detection because hit detection can be outside the body. But as far as the animation, as long as it's the same size and the skeleton fits, so the mesh fits the skeleton. That's the only thing that really matters. That's why you have a lot of games where like the women are literally like the same height as men, even though realistically women are shorter and smaller than men.
Okay, I figured as much because that whole excuse that they did with 2B in Rainbow Six Siege when they did that super muscular, manly looking 2B, they were, people were trying to cope and see it and be like, oh, it's because they had to keep the model the same.
Yeah, that looked ridiculous. But I guess to play devil's advocate, at the very least, that character that they used gave her the skin for 2B.
Mhm.
When you look at her her main skins, she looks like a buff woman. She doesn't look very, she doesn't have a figure.
I've seen her applied to other skins when people brought that up, but I was like, come on, man, you're just being lazy. You could design another model that looks more feminine, that has the same height, like you said. Truth be told, they just didn't want to do it, right? They wanted to reduce the time, the investment overall, and they just wanted to copy and paste it to the best of their ability. So, and they'll take the the mockery. They don't really care because for them, it looks amazing, I'm sure. So anyway, overall, when I saw this game, like I said, I was wholly unimpressed. I thought it was one of these like free-to-play titles at first, and then when I found out it's actually going to charge money, it's very interesting. Do you think that, really quick, the last question, do you think the lower costs will help a game like this that otherwise looks fucking like bland?
Nope.
Wouldn't make a difference to me.
$39.99 right now. What do you think?
It didn't help Concord. It won't help this. The market.
This is a Bungie game, though.
The most important thing is for it to look cool, and I don't think this looks cool enough. I think it will probably get maybe some Destiny fans will see this and be like, okay, I like Bungie, I'm going to trust them, but I don't think this is going to draw a new audience.
This
so you
looks
don't
like what?
angry space lesbians? Why not?
Bro, based
Right.
off of the gameplay, like just go look at the gameplay. It's not going to
think-
make people want to play it.
I think disenfranchised live service gamers will give it a try. Like I have friends that they kind of hop from live service to live service, so they
Mhm.
tend to try out anything new. But if you have like someone that's been playing Apex Legends for like 5 years and they have like a whole stack of shit that they've earned over that period of time, like I don't think you're gonna convince them with this game that, oh yeah, this is the new thing. Like I'm gonna leave all this stuff that I've invested in all this time, all this money into in order to play this. Like I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
this looks like what a corporation thinks is cool. It like not what we think is cool.
I mean, this game would have looked out of date 5 years ago, folks. It's not going to succeed. It's out of place. There are no new ideas here. That's
What
why
is
I'm
with
very
PlayStation doing that, by the way, Ryan? Like, that's actually a good fucking point. What is with PlayStation coming out with video games from genres that peaked like 5 years before they come out with them? Like, they did it with Concord. They're doing it with this. And are they still coming out with fair games? That Payday looking heist
Oh,
game?
yeah, that's still coming too. Yeah.
Like, bro, when's the last time Payday was super relevant like that? I don't.
The
I don't get
problem is that they've been making these games for 5+ years. So
This
But
is the
yeah,
problem with
speed it up a
AAA.
little, I guess.
It is. This is a problem we're seeing across the entire gaming industry. Is games that come out and look like they should have come out like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, whenever the genre was actually hot.
My first thought when seeing this, the first few seconds, it's like Cyberpunk 2077 and Apex Legends had a baby and shat out this.
But you have to also,
out of date.
you have
after
to also
drinking a
take
bunch
into account Sony as a company doesn't have an identity in a multiplayer space. They're trying to find that right now.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't. They got
I mean,
felt
they
with
used to.
Concord and they got nothing.
Yep.
You know,
I
on,
mean, they
the,
got
on the
Helldivers.
topic of how long it took them to make this, a problem is that they're not jumping on trends fast enough. When I worked at Treyarch, we were very fortunate that we were able to jump on the battle royale trend fast enough. Basically, we're working on a campaign that got scrapped, like a whole year and a half of development. The campaign was goofy. And then I was like, okay, this was too goofy for us to go through with it. And then it got scrapped. So we can't just release just a multiplayer. So one of the programmers was told, hey, make a prototype of PUBG as fast as you can. He used the assets for the campaign, made basically what ended up becoming the Warzone mode. Well, for Black Ops 4 was Blackout mode. But he made that like within a week. So because of the fact that we're able to jump on that trend fast enough, it worked for Treyarch. But you know, when you take 5 years jumping on a trend that was 5 years ago, that's not going to work for AAA development.
Bro, look at
This is why we're seeing games that are coming out now that like Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's, you know, it's coming out now because the ideas that formulated it came
I
about.
don't
in
hate that
2020.
image right there. I don't hate it.
This one?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
No,
The
that's
other
no,
one
but
is
that's what I'm
horrifying.
saying. That's the original. This is
Yeah.
how it. This is how it originally looked, and this is what we're getting now. I'm like,
I don't see
This
a
is-
difference.
this is
They both look the
Splitgate
same
again.
to me.
They're the same picture.
all right, you know what? We don't need a guest tonight. It's fine. Let's just.
Oh, you know what this? You know what this looks like? What's that fucking game that came out last year? That was like the arena shooter where you could destroy the entire
Some
building.
Lady Gaga shit, bro. What is this, man?
Yes.
What
God,
is
what's the-
this?
They're trying to get young people on board to try these games, and it's at the expense of the IP, and it's at the expense of essentially everyone else. I don't like
Young
get
people
the-
aren't into all this deviant, freaky shit anymore, though. They're going trad.
Yes,
like they need to realize that your older audience actually pays money. Like, you know,
More
Space
money.
Marines too. Like I'm sure some younger people were definitely playing that game, but a
Mhm.
lot of old head gamers were hyped as shit for that game. Like,
You know why? Because it wasn't a live service. It has an ending and replay value.
well, it
And-
actually
and-
looks like it's made for men. You know, older men
yeah.
that actually have money and aren't fucking broke college kids.
Well, to be fair,
That's
it also did everything too, Will. Like, even though it wasn't a live service game, it still had a multiplayer aspect that actually was updated, similar to a live service, but not quite.
Co-op, right?
Yeah, and well, not just that, they have multiplayer like PvP too. They had
Oh.
co-op missions, operations, and then they also had PvP, which actually was pretty decent. It wasn't, I jumped in there expecting just to mess around with it for an hour and just be whatever, but I was playing for hours. Like the PvP is actually pretty
I gotta
fun.
play that. I gotta play
Feels
that.
like-
I've
feels
got
like
it.
playing
Someone gifted it to me, and I really need to play it.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I miss games, man, that look like this. I really do. Like that dark, gritty look. I miss this shit. When these games come out that have this fucking super bright neon colored lighting, like bro, you guys are so obsessed with cyberpunk. Like everything has to have this cyberpunk style look to it, and they think that's what the kiddies like now, and it's just.
But Cyberpunk
Itself
Cyberpunk
used to
20
look more like industrial shit, though.
Yeah,
rather than-
Cyberpunk 2077 actually took the style and made it look cool.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Well, because they made it gringy. Like
Yes.
they gave you that. Yes, some of it was very neon colored, of course, but they gave you that dark and gritty kind of atmosphere, especially in some areas more than others. But this game is just like, I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. I literally think it's Lady Gaga. I'm not even kidding. When I see something like this.
Trash.
This is
I
what
mean,
happened.
You don't want to give that a
Fucking-
kiss?
CD
No.
Projekt Red took
All right.
Cyberpunk
Hell no.
as a style and then branded it and turned it into this neon fucking shit show where it looks like everything's been puked on by someone who drank too many fucking glow sticks in the club. And
That's gross.
and now you think like actual Cyberpunk is more like sort of industrial noir kind of thing
Yeah.
with a lot of military shit and cybernetics and stuff. It's dark. It's not like, look at Final Fantasy VII is a good example. Like the
Yeah.
city Midgar is Cyberpunk, not the game Cyberpunk. That's not Cyberpunk.
This comment actually is best because one of the worlds I love the most is the world of Blade Runner. I think Blade Runner is one of the best like futuristic worlds in terms of story and setting. I mean, I still
Yes.
remember playing the original Click game. I forgot what the exact title was, but like that Click action, not action, that Click adventure game back on PC way back in the day. I'm dating myself right now, but it's fucking awesome. Like that Click detective kind of adventure game.
Point and click.
Yeah, point and click, and you just explore the world of Blade Runner.
Mist?
And it's
There's a
amazing.
Blade Runner one. Okay.
Yeah, there was a Blade Runner one. I'll look it up after
90s
this,
one.
but
97.
there's a way to do this kind of style without making it so overtly colorful, if that's the word I'm looking for. I just
Gay.
cringy. Yeah, it's like
It
gay.
looks gay.
Yeah, lots
It's
of
Cyberpunk, like, you'll see lots of neon lights and things like that in cyberpunk dystopian cityscapes because they're supposed to be like failed crumbling decadence. It's not supposed to be bright and attractive. It's supposed to be gaudy and off-putting.
Yeah.
And they've missed that and tried to make it look attractive with the same stylistic choices, and it doesn't work.
I think the Shadowrun games by I think Harebrained Schemes. They made like 3 or 4 Shadowrun games about 10 years ago. I think they did a really great job, like just making the cyberpunk aesthetic, just making it, just very dark, dirty, not a fun place to live.
You keep talking. This is Blade Runner. Point and click from way back in the day, and look how
Same year as Final Fantasy VII.
look at the game, like inside the game, it's incredible. This game is so good. Oh man, it's so good. I have the audio off on purpose.
That's
Actual, like,
Cyberpunk.
Blade Runner game. I don't know what I would do for one, but I
That's
need one.
cyberpunk. So you've got neon lights, but everything's dark.
Yeah. It's very. This is such a good.
It's noir.
Fucking A,
Check
man.
out that
this game.
chin.
This game was way ahead of its time.
It's Jay
Way-
Leno.
This is the opening scene when you first land, and you got to like figure out who murdered who and what. It's
Yeah.
God, it's such a good game. Anyway, so I miss that stuff. I really
Point
do.
and click was great in its heyday. Games like
Oh, yeah.
Broken Sword and Monkey Island and stuff. Amazing.
Oh yeah. But yeah, anyway, so I think this game is, again, I don't think it's gonna do bad. But I definitely think because they're charging the entry fee, it's probably not gonna do as good as it could have. I think Bungie probably had its best chance making this free to play, with some sort of, season pass, microtransaction, whatever. But looks like they're going with the entry fee. So I don't know. Final thoughts on
How you
Marathon?
get- That's how you get young people as well, because they're all fucking broke. You need
Yeah.
to-
Exactly.
It also depends on
Marathon will-
who. It also, I'm sorry. It also depends on who it's releasing against. So I don't know what else is coming out around that time.
It's September, right?
September, yeah.
September 20
But
something.
You know what game's going to release around September? Fucking GTA 6.
GTA
most likely.
6.
Well,
I don't think so, because look at Borderlands. Borderlands is a 2K game, and they're releasing it in September. 2K would obviously be like, "Hey, GTA is coming out at this time. Move that shit."
is
So I don't
true.
think it's coming out in September.
I don't know. I think that
You know what is coming out in September? Terminator
What?
2D No Fate.
that's
Fire.
awesome. I can't wait
as
to play
well
that.
as the Shinobi game.
Borderlands 4.
Oh, that got gifted to me the other day. I'm
wait,
excited to
so
play
Shinobi?
that. Yeah, Shinobi.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
same.
See, I gotta buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I don't know if they got co-op. We got a co-op.
I think
But you
that's
know what's
yes.
coming out right before September?
What's
Metal
that?
Gear Solid Delta.
God damn.
There's a lot of
2K
good
has
games this
2
year, bro.
games coming out this year. What I'm assuming is before GTA. One is Mafia: The Old Country, which is coming out, leaked out in August, and then
Yep.
the next one is Borderlands 4 coming out in September. So I'm assuming GTA is coming out sometime after that. Maybe I'm guessing December.
Borderlands 4 comes out the same day as Marathon.
Lukewarm take. I don't give a fuck about Borderlands 4. I didn't give a fuck
Yeah,
about
I don't
Borderlands
either.
garbage.
After
Nobody
2,
does. The
I
movie
was like,
killed it.
I've said that so many times. I've checked out of Borderlands.
I tried
really,
3.
really
It was a
quick.
mistake.
No hearts left. Just want to go over this really fast. I forgot to earlier. No hearts left. Gifted 5 games to the channel. Gifted
Banger.
Castle
Nice,
of
cool.
Alchemist. Never heard of that one. It's a defense action hybrid game. Nice.
You might like Kill Knight. It's pretty cool.
Kill Knight, ultra responsive arcade inspired isometric action shooter. That sounds cool.
oh, dope.
Blood Typers, the type to kill. Wait, what? In survival horror adventure, you have to.
Sounds like a B movie title.
What
Is that a typing game? Like Typing of the Dead?
It looks like it. That would be so interesting. Fly Night, which is a solo or co-op first-person dungeon crawler. Interesting. And then Guns of Fury. Sorry, I fucked that
How
up.
dare you?
Sorry. I always fuck that up. I can never say that word. I don't know why. It's bad. Guns of Fury, is a retro-inspired action platformer.
Fury.
Nice. I'm sure that game exists somewhere, though, by the way. Guns of
totally
Fury.
must. It's
I'm
on
sure it
Steam
does.
for sure.
I'm sure it does.
Well,
don't gift
somebody's
it to
going
me.
to gift it to you.
Yeah,
it's
don't
coming.
gift it
Too
to me.
late. It's on the way, Sam.
Shout out to No Hearts Left. Thank you for all the insane gifts. I appreciate you. Kata, what are you doing? You going or you staying?
Yeah, I was waiting for y'all to finish. I'm about to dip. I got to fucking.
All right, get out. All right, bye. Okay, bye. So,
Oh, only one. Oh, wait, there's 2 again.
Disrespect, it's just get the other
Headache
black
means
guy
he's
out.
got to go join Atreus because Atreus, found out that the girl's only down, if she can get another guy involved. So go ahead.
Groupie.
Oh my god.
Yo.
Yeah,
Do the Eiffel Tower. It's not the
We're
first
gonna have
time.
to drive 16 hours just to get out there, but I guess
God,
it's worth it.
Feel
Guess
better,
it's
Kata.
worth it.
It's okay.
But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Be easy.
Peace
Don't
out.
do anything
Is
I want
Geeks
to
and
do.
Gamers streaming tonight? It's probably why.
I have no idea. Oh yeah, I made it. Oh, I'm big.
Big leaguing us now.
I'm in the big leagues now. Oh.
Bye.
But yeah, I'm getting out of here. Bye.
Peace out.
Peace.
All right, let's catch up on Super Chats, and then we'll get to the next topic. Where are we at? Let me scroll down past. Here we go. We got Psycho with a $4.99. I'm calling it right now. The Last of Us game and TV series combo, Ultimate Edition. Play either PS3, PS4, PS5 version of the game only on PlayStation 6.
God damn.
They're gonna
That-
release it when they've changed the characters to
You
look
know
like
what's
Pedro
sad, bro?
Pascal and the little girl with the shoe face.
That's believable.
What's sad is that yeah, I was gonna say that is believable. That is like I can see them doing some ultimate combo where you get like for $300 season 1, season 2 packaged with the game, with a digital download, no physical disc inside the case, and you can download it on your platform of choice. That's basically it.
That's some
Game
Pete
key
Cuckman shit
card.
right there.
Oh yeah, reselling the game. Oh god, look at this guy. Hypno's Dog for a 10. They should have remastered the OG Marathon series, Father and Pathways into Darkness
Oh,
too. Instead of making whatever this is. Love hearing Durandal reciting the how do you say that?
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias poem though. Hashtag still hungry, bro. You are a
me
feral dog. Go eat something off the street.
It's the fact they calls
What
you
the
father.
fuck is this? Now there's a Hypno's cat. I'm done, bro.
Yo.
I was
look
watching
like
all
grandma
these
the
coming in
fucking
earlier
thing.
on.
With the
What is happening right now?
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic. I can't.
Fucking
bro.
done.
Hypno's dog with a 2. Father, why is the cat here? Get it
Hey, yo,
away.
no.
Save me.
No, that's the
I'm
same
waiting
person.
for,
That's got to be the same person.
It definitely is. It
I'm
definitely is.
waiting for Hypno's poodle.
Actually, it's not. It's
It's
two different
like,
currencies.
Papa.
It is
Oh,
the same
shit.
currency.
Fuck, man. Scooby Pup for a 5. It's supposed to be like the original Marathon, but plays like anything but, and doesn't even look like the original. Yeah, we definitely can see that. Fetch Quest Gaming for a 2 says absolutely fucking nothing. Shout out to you. We got FVA with a 2. Color scheme is trash. Why AAA games so trash?
Because they got into a point. They got into a point of complacency. Like they don't have. They know they don't have to try hard because they'll get money either way, even if it doesn't come from the gamers themselves.
It's a combination of that.
They're getting governmentally funded half the time.
Yeah.
Well, they used to
a-
anyway.
It's a combo of that and games designed by committee.
That too.
So there's no character.
You know what's so funny, man? There were so many people that don't like this particular space on the internet that were trying to say that we are going to disappear this year. There's so many good games coming out. We're not going to have anything to talk about. Blah. I'm like, bro, we are here just as strong as we ever were, talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
If
you
there's
know?
nothing but
born
good,
every
we'll
minute.
talk about the good.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I don't understand that ideology. It's like, oh, y'all only talk about bad stuff because there's so much bad stuff out. What do you do? What do you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the landscape is so good. I'm going to be paying for StreamYard now. That's how good it's being.
Congratulations.
bud.
Congratulations. Shockwave's Lab for a 5. We'll probably buy Marathon. I'm used to getting fucked in the ass by Bungie for playing Destiny for so many years.
Wow.
Golly, you said it.
At
not
least
me.
he's honest. Yeah, at least he's honest.
Very honest. Shout out to him.
Little Merc and Kata's Lost Spawn. Bro, that
Yo.
profile picture. Oh my
Jesus,
god.
that's insane.
Bro. Oh my
You
god.
are
That's
reality
fucking wild.
based.
The game doesn't have enough Merkins, and if you don't know what a Merkin is, you need to get out more.
Damn.
My god,
Pubic
bro.
wig.
Get away from the chimney.
Demon
I was
Carol.
surprised as well.
What up?
Demon Carol with a 20 banger. My imagination, or did the Bungie design team look at Concord and say, hold my soy, when they came up for Marathon? The game looks overly vibrant to the point of being dull. Looks like a junkie swallowed a glow stick and threw up.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
There it is. You see that swallowing glow sticks. That's what
That's
I
actually a pretty accurate description.
Yeah.
Thank you, Demon Carol. We got Hypno's dog for it too. Like the stream, I'll eat your dinner. Clearly not,
Oh,
because you
shit.
said you were hungry just before. So
Yeah.
He'll eat from the
Mozambique
trash
enjoyer?
like all the other dogs.
Mozambique enjoyer for a 5. I think they're trying to cater to the remedials who think Bungie still makes Halo games. No one who played the original Marathon games are excited. I think that's pretty fair.
Yep.
Demon Carol with a 5. Don't forget that Summer Firewalk Studio. Oh, there you go. Went over to Bungie. I guarantee that if it lasts a year, it'll go free to play or shut down. That's usually what happens with a lot of these games that try to charge a premium for entry when their competition usually goes free to play. They end up, if they don't just bring enough money in, they end up going free to play after anyway. And it's like, you should have just did that from the start, because now the hype is gone, if there was any hype to begin with. So that's basically it.
Do you guys think that maybe Marathon is a bit much like Halo in terms of just general design of characters, specifically the enemies? Because I was looking at the enemies in the pictures, and it looks kind of like some of the Halo enemies. Do you think that they were afraid to kind of be considered samey as current Halo?
Potentially. I mean, I don't know, because again, with Bungie, I feel like Bungie's name is usually tied to that, so they don't want whatever brand new IP or new whatever they're working on to be tied to what they're known for if they're trying to have it stand out. So maybe that's why they're going so aggressive with the style, to make it just stand out a little bit too much, though. I don't know. Maybe. What do you guys think? I have no idea.
I would
Thank you
prefer
for your donation.
I would prefer that they actually crib off of, like, Bungie's original stuff like Destiny and Halo, like their original designs and stuff like that, over whatever the fuck this is supposed to be. Personally, it's like, this shit looks so incomplete. It bothers me that there's like very little detail in anything. It's just a bunch of like flashy colors on gray, and it's so annoying to look at.
I agree with how you describe it as incomplete, because I can see what they're going with the whole like digital vibe, but it doesn't look like they went all the way there. It looks like they, especially when you look at a lot of the terrain, like you see like this big empty green sections. You see a lot of the buildings just big empty. It looks like it's lacking detail. Like they didn't go all the way with the art style. It's like it's missing something. So I agree with you when you said incomplete. That's like the key word there.
Well, it is alpha gameplay, so maybe, but let's be real, probably not. Like, I don't think it's
beta. Let's call it what it is.
I don't think it's incomplete in terms of the design. I think the design we see
yeah,
is the one they're gonna stick with.
Yeah, they put their best foot forward when it comes to visuals and doesn't change too often.
Yeah. Demon Carol for a 5. Let's all laugh at the industry that doesn't learn anything. Tee-hee. They sure don't. Wizard Man for a 2. Off the Grid is a new extraction shooter.
Wasn't that a that tee-hee-hee thing? Wasn't that a Yahtzee segment they used to have on his Zero Punctuation shows? It was like, let's all laugh at an industry that never learns anything. Tee-hee-hee.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
This super chat says check Off the Grid trailer versus Marathon. You know what? Just out of curiosity, I will check it, but I don't normally do requests on SNH because then it takes too long.
Yep.
But just out of curiosity, let's see the comparison between the two.
Oh, that looks better already.
Already has more character.
What's up, Cobra fans? Welcome to Cobra's Corner.
What the
Is
fuck?
this for real? Yes, Black Sabbath. 3 huge game developers have gotten together to create.
Already looks better.
Way better.
It also looks more like Marathon.
It does. It looks more like Marathon. It looks more. That looks more my speed. That looks like something I'd like. That like I can get into a lobby and just like shit talk with your boys.
And it still has the cyberpunk style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ironically.
And it was shown 2 years ago, which
Is
just
that Dr.
reinforces
Disrespect
my
back
point.
there?
Wait, this is 2? Oh,
That
shit.
is
it
Doc.
might be.
Dr.
That is
Scorn.
Doc. Dr. Scorn. That's hilarious.
Wow.
Look, you got a fake EA thing.
The one in the
back there,
halftime.
too.
I love it.
The
This is EA
ultimate
back there.
gaming experience. The top video game players in the world. Are they any good in real life battle royale type situations?
Oh, wow.
Not this, but actually this.
All right. I think it's safe to say that this is probably being made by, real
Way
people.
better.
Real gamers. That looks pretty cool. Shout out to you for that recommendation. When did this trailer release? 1 year
years
ago.
2023.
1 year ago. Off the Grid official gameplay trailer, Gamescom 2023.
That's great.
But it was released 1 year ago. That's weird. I guess on IGN they
That's
maybe did
timing.
delay. I don't know.
It might be
What
because
month then?
yeah, YouTube it does that thing where it's like it can be 1 year and like 11
11
months. It's like yeah.
Got it. Good recommendation. Scooby Pup for 2 for this marathon. It is PvPvE. Yeah, that's a new thing they're going for now. A lot of the games PvPvE. Mr. Monkey with a 1999 says super bright colors with neon and bright eye-popping worlds because they're equivalent, not like the other first-person shooters. They have personality. Yeah, that's how they like to explain themselves, I guess. Benjamin with a 5. The OG Marathon games are free on Steam currently. You're just missing Pathways into Darkness, which just watch Mandalore's video on it, to be honest. Okay, good enough.
Don't tell me about free games. I'm adding that shit to my library right now.
Raging D-Head with a 5. Good evening, all. Hope everyone is having a good evening. As Atreus finally getting those back shots done. Shout out to KOC, Keita Ocasio-Cortez.
Golly.
Oh, God.
That's gonna be
Shots.
Tifa
No
Lock
means
Harbor
try
189.
harder.
This game might be released with a copy of Halo 1. Maybe. Cladex with a 5. If you haven't played House of the Dead Overkill, it's a masterpiece. It has a typing version as well on Steam. Gotta check that out.
Fun.
And then St. Hugo for a 2. Bethesda 25. Super Turbo Turkey Puncher 3 Remaster. What the fuck is that?
Turkey Puncher.
Turkey Puncher sounds like a racial slur for someone.
I like
it. Sure fucking does. That's hilarious. We got Anti-Federalist Pain for a 2 on Rumble. From the studio that destroyed Halo and Destiny comes a new story, Concord 2: The Transition. No balls, no tits. Customize your flat androgynous character with sliders that change nothing.
Damn.
You, sir,
That
are very
that
accurate.
sounds like one hell of a marathon.
It sure does.
I
We
get
got
it.
Eric Jenkins for $1. Fucks with the cyberpunk-like music. Game looks like ass, though.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Then we got Adam Jubin for $1. It's a Windows 93 program. It looks like shit. Damn. Anti-Federalist paying for a $5. I like how everyone was celebrating that we won, and now they are tripling down. I said before, we haven't won. We simply routed their front line. The war's just starting. It's a long way to the end. I don't know who was saying we won, because I never thought we won. We might have won battles, but this shit's going to go on for a long time, man. Mystic Vegeta for $1. Harrison Ford is Blade Runner. He's going to sit you down, ask you some questions. Me? Wait, what is he doing? And isn't that the tranny cop from Ace Ventura?
Finkel and Einhorn.
Anonymous Woodler for a $5. Where's Hypno's Fish? Glad to see you back. Head to Rumble Gooners. Hashtag YouTube sucks. Shout out to you, bro. We don't need a Hypno's Fish. We're good. Adam
Yeah,
Jubin for
Hypno's
$1. Instead of Jabba the Hutt, there needs to be Hypnotic the Slut.
Golly.
That's great. Shout out to you, bro.
Shots fired.
Paulo Diablo for a $5. Me and chat. Pretty sad that Alyssa had to download a far-right streaming app to give Hypnotic's videos a thumb down, dislike every day. 1 minute later, the thumbs down is removed. Interesting conspiracy. It's very interesting. I wonder if that's true. Shout out to you, Hollow Diablo. Good job calling out the irony. Yeah, my Rumble streams always get 1 dislike consistently, all the time. I don't know why, but that's just the case. All right, we are not fully caught up. Scrap Gamer gifted 1 Hypnotic membership. Thank you, Scrap Gamer, you legend. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, now we are fully caught up. Let's get into the next topic. This is gonna be fun. Let's talk about Nintendo, man. So, Nintendo.
Damn it! Give me a second. I'll be back.
No problem. Nintendo is having problems, I guess you can say, because obviously nobody likes their pricing. People have an issue with their pricing, and the Switch 2 is a big talking point right now. You got people defending it, you got people hating it. Actually, what do you think about it, Mustafa? What do you think about it?
Yeah, so I think Nintendo has been anti-consumer for a really long time. So it's disappointing to see them push towards this direction, but it's not surprising to me because of the fact that they've been anti-consumer for so long. I was debating on making a video myself on this, but I was like, everyone has already said everything, and I don't have anything new to say. I made a video of Donkey Kong instead.
Right.
But yeah, I like Nintendo games, but I rarely buy them because they're just so expensive. Like they never drop the price anymore, especially like, compared to like GameCube, where they'd have like the player's choice for $20. Nowadays, you have a game that's literally over a decade old and it's still full price.
You don't get platinum on PlayStation anymore either.
Well, this is the company that Nintendo is a company that only ever adapts to survive, folks, and that's why you see these kinds of innovations. For me personally, the icing on the cake, or the cherry on top of the cake, was the fact that they were selling this mutated flower plant, as my mouse falls on the floor, with a 480p camera for like $50. I was like, yay! $50 for a
To be honest,
480p camera.
Let's be real though. Did anybody expect a fucking like Nintendo camera to be high quality? Like,
No, not even
I would
remotely.
expect at least 720p though,
720,
like at
yeah.
the minimum.
But come on, people. People lambast me for releasing content at 480p. But Nintendo's
Man, Nintendo's got some real dents, like
Well,
supporting
so
it.
the reason why
It's
I brought up
unbelievable.
Nintendo is because I wanna cover this. I made a video about this today. A lot of people are talking about this because it's pretty insane. But it's just become aware that Breath of the Wild and its DLC together is going to cost $90 on the Nintendo Switch 2. No matter how you slice it, the base game And keep in mind, this is an 8-year-old video game. The base game is going to cost you $70.
No DLC.
With no DLC thrown in whatsoever. And they are going to charge you $20 in order, or I think $10 for the DLC or something. I don't remember if it's like the service. Basically, no matter which way you slice it, no matter how you do it, if you want the full experience, it's going to cost you $90 on the Nintendo Switch 2.
That's scandalous, man.
For an 8-year-old game.
Yeah, it's outrageous. They really are just now beginning to show how little respect they actually have.
$20
for their
DLC,
audience at
there
this
you go.
point. Like, they are taking the fucking piss at this point.
this-
they know they can get away with it because there are enough dickheads who will
Yeah.
just buy it because it's Nintendo.
Well,
And this is the most arrogant I've seen Nintendo, and it's unbelievable because I thought they were ridiculously arrogant with the Wii U.
Yeah.
But this is the cycle of Nintendo as well, because they have a win, and then they think they don't have to change, they don't have to adapt, they can sell the same shit with minor upgrades, they can rip gamers off, they can spit in your face, and people will buy it, and then they end up getting felted. I'm starting to think we'll get a situation where the Switch 2 will do really, really well for the first 6 months and then die.
Yeah.
Although Nintendo does have a history of this, because me and Will and John went through the history of their consoles. The amount of DS variants was fucking criminal.
Oh,
They
it's
had like
maddening.
7 or
There was
8
the
variants.
DS, there was the DS Lite, there was the DSi, DSi XL, then the 3DS, then the 3DS XL,
XL.
then there's the 2DS,
2DS.
then there's the new Nintendo 3DS, then
Mhm.
there's the new Nintendo 2DS, which is just the same without the
Same
3D.
shit. Yeah.
Then there's XL versions of both of them as well. And it went on and on and on. So many fucking consoles. We went through all the we ranked them. We did a tier list. of all the
Plus, they had
Nintendo consoles.
separate digital stores, and then they
Yeah.
shut down the digital stores, so the
Yeah.
stuff you buy no longer exists.
Exactly.
Which
The
is
virtual
completely
store on the Wii was.
anti-consumer.
They don't care. They really don't care. There's a reason that they attack the piracy so hard. It's because they want to be able to nickel and dime you for this shit.
Right.
If they actually gave a shit about this stuff, because their argument and Ubisoft's argument back in the day as well was like, oh well, you guys will pay for Spotify. Yeah, you guys will pay for Netflix. It's like, well, I pay for Spotify because I get literally billions of songs at my fucking fingertips
Mhm.
for $10. What are you giving me, Nintendo? Like a very small selection of your incredibly old library. You could sell these games for $1 each on the NES, $5 maybe for the really, like, going all the way up the generations for like the really successful ones. If they opened a storefront where you could do that and you could have like access to the entire library, you could even charge $20 for GameCube games. Somebody would buy them.
They would never want all access because they love scarcity. They love limited amounts, like whether it's hardware or software. Like with the NES Mini, the SNES Mini, they loved like just having a limited amount so that we could have scalpers, and then you have games like Super Mario 3D All Stars, and they're like, we're going to only sell this up until this specific date, and then we're going to stop selling it just because.
I know. I've got that actually. My wife bought it for me that Christmas because it was limited edition. So it actually worked on me.
I bought it before I even owned a Switch because I wanted to play Super Mario Galaxy.
That's exactly the same as me. Yeah. I mean, I had loads of other ways to play Sunshine and 64 already, especially 64. But Galaxy, yeah, I really wanted to not have to rig up a Wii to play that again.
Well, this mindset though for Nintendo, their reputation needs to nosedive because as we've seen throughout their history, the only way they truly innovate and improve is when they are on the edge of oblivion.
Yeah. They deserve it. I mean, if they succeed this generation, that will be terrible. It would be awful for gaming.
To be fair, that's not just Nintendo though. Like all of these.
Oh yeah.
So like this is why I don't want Xbox to bow out of the console wars, if you even want to call it that. I don't want them to. I know they're going to eventually. It seems that way, but I don't want them to not because I'm an Xbox fan, but because I want there to be competition in gaming at all times. If Xbox were to bow out, Sony will just become the next Nintendo, and they're going to get ultimately extremely comfortable because they're going to feel like they don't compete with Nintendo. I feel like we all know that at this point. Nintendo does its own thing,
Right, yeah.
and
That's
Sony and
Sony's problem
Xbox
in
compete
general.
against each other.
That's Sony's problem in general is that like Sony has this thing where they think they're slightly ahead of the curve when it comes to like in comparison to Microsoft. So they'll do some super fuck shit that really
Yeah.
pisses off their fans, and then they have to backtrack slightly just for like Microsoft to pass them again. And they keep doing that shit. I think that might just be a marketing move between the two of them to sell more consoles, but that's
Maybe.
that's
Well,
completely
And it
Microsoft-
feels like it's inevitable that Ryan will eventually mention WWE and WCW.
No, I won't. I won't. No, I honestly
But,
won't.
but
Because
a company running uncontested is not a good thing for the
Mm.
industry. Yeah, Go on.
Well, Microsoft, if they had any initiative, they don't, but if they had any initiative, they would see Nintendo taking a step forward in making a parity console and take a step back
Yeah.
and turn Xbox into this hybrid hub between the physical and the digital. Stay away from handhelds because you have no fucking experience in that domain, and sell cheap Game Pass machines that could be low-level
Stadia.
entry PCs to everyone. Do what
Like
Stadia
a
tried and
Stadia
failed to
function,
do.
a functional Stadia.
Isn't that
yeah.
what they're
Yeah.
trying to do with their proposed handheld? Like Xbox is trying to make a handheld to compete with Steam.
Well, that's why I said, lack of initiative, because anyone who enters a domain where they don't have experience, of course they're going to fall flat first. And Microsoft doesn't have inbuilt experience. Even Xbox doesn't have inbuilt experience with those kinds of systems, at least from my analysis.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if anybody's going to make, I would hope anyway, a halfway decent handheld, I would imagine Microsoft and Xbox should be able to.
It seems like something they'd be very, very capable of. I mean, so the thing here is, yeah, we shit on game companies that treat us like crap all the time, every day, whether they're software or their hardware or both. We always come down really heavy on them. The disappointing thing here is to see so many people who would otherwise be making videos crippling a company for insulting their intelligence and their wallet, who then rush to defend Nintendo purely
Right.
because it's fucking Nintendo. It's sickening. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
It's
You
one
know
of the
what's
reasons.
Go ahead. No, Sheep, go ahead.
I was about to say it's one of the reasons why I started to veer away more from like just mainstream like console games in general, is because they just don't hold. They do things that basically screw the gamers over. Like for example,
Constantly.
with this Nintendo, what Nintendo does is they're so fucking good at it, primarily because they know that as long as their like short-lived titles are quality games, based on like, their short-lived titles are quality games within the franchises that they are. Like Mario games are the same shit every time. As long as you can release something that's a little different from the standard, side-scrolling platform, you got yourself your baked-in audience. The same thing
It's
with
like,
Metroid.
what animal is Mario this generation?
Right,
it's-
like
Well,
the same thing with Metroid, right? Like you just released
Kinda, yeah.
another Metroid game that's not Metroid 4 just yet. Same thing with Zelda. It's like, you just release another
Echoes.
Zelda game with
Yeah.
another storyline that does the same thing all the time, just with different characters. I say that, and I love Zelda through and through. I got like 2 shelves full of Zelda shit over here. But like,
it's on my hat. Although
yeah,
I did
it's
just
like,
yeet my Triforce across the room. So
and heavens for fucking bid, I mentioned Pokemon, but I'm not even gonna go down that route. The thing is,
Well, I will
Nintendo
say-
is good.
there's a lazy
at-
franchise.
I'm gonna finish with this.
Okay.
Nintendo is good at keeping their fans on the hook.
Yeah.
Despite them doing some really egregious shit, they know how to do something. They know how to we apologize or please understand their way back into the
Well, that
heart
was
of their fans.
Satoru Iwata. I mean, they don't have him anymore. They don't have Reggie anymore. The people
Yeah.
who used to be gamer first and business second are gone, replaced by pure business minds.
Yeah.
The industry landscape has definitely changed, and a recent announcement should showcase to Nintendo that the writing's on the wall, as it were, in that for the first time, PC gamers outnumber console gamers in history.
It's
the
something like
first time
60% of gamers have a PC that they also game
Yes.
at least.
Yeah, in terms of a 1-to-1, like as a standard, there are more PC gamers now than there are console gamers. It took a heck of a long time to make that
Barely
happen.
though, but it is
Yep.
going that way.
Yeah, it's with that caveat that it's like some people have consoles and PC.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
most of that change happened over the last 5 to 10 years, which should be like warning, turn back, reform, make console games great again.
No. It's, they
I
have
think
these,
that's partially due to the overall performance of this generation of consoles, though. People were so underwhelmed by this generation that they started seeking out other avenues of entertainment, and all it takes is for people to realize that it's actually not that expensive to have a halfway decent PC to last you 5 to 10 years.
it's cheaper to buy a GPU than a new console most of the time.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that they don't advertise the Steam Deck. You know what I mean? Like Valve's biggest problem is that they only advertise their hardware within their own echo chamber.
Yeah, we don't want any console gremlins coming over. You guys can stay
Fucking
over there
Cassie.
with your fuck shit ass consoles that does everything for you and you're happy little baby with your
To be
bobo
fair,
in
I
your
was a
mouth and
console
your,
guy
and your
until
diaper on. We
5
don't want
years
you
ago.
over here. Please don't advertise to these normie console gremlin casuals. Fuck out of here.
That's why
Holy
console.
shit.
That's why console gaming should be user friendly and cost effective, in my view. Which is why a great way for the Switch to, in my view, of gain ground was to go against industry standards and lower their fucking prices, especially for their
I mean,
games.
that's the
and
Nintendo model.
Yeah, do that. Do what you're good at. Double down on what you're good at. The Switch is a fantastic example of that. So double down on the concept with the Switch too. But no, you're taking a step forward, going back to the N64 and GameCube days of, yeah, we're number one now, full price, full
Double price.
release, and
Yeah.
double price even. You charge you the same price for games that are nearly a decade old. Of course you're gonna fucking fail. Know your lane and stick
Again,
in
this
it.
is insane. Like, again, going back to the topic, this right here is fucking wild. Like, if you want to, okay, I get it, man. People are gonna argue about Nintendo. Oh, it's fair. It's this, whatever. You're gonna have people defend it. Fine. You want to defend new games being $80, $90, whatever. There's no way, bro, that we're gonna sit here and talk about an 8-year-old game costing $90. Like, there's just no fucking way. Like, I'm not having that conversation with someone. There's no way. Like, again, you want to defend new games, fine, but you want to defend. I don't care if it's Zelda. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit.
Neither do I, and I'm
some
the
of the
biggest fucking
best
Zelda fan
AAA
on this
games
show.
that have ever existed, I have bought for like $9 on Steam. Like, there's no way you're defending an 8-year-old plus game at maximum retail price. Why? Because now you're at 60 frames a second instead of 30, 25 if you were lucky. Like,
Nintendo is
no.
still selling Wii U games on the Switch that are full price.
Yep. Be careful,
Like-
guys. These these fucking mathematicians are gonna pull out their fucking inflation calculators and try to tell you otherwise.
Oh,
To put this into perspective, right? Breath of the Wild dropped in 2017. Marcus Cyborg found a 60 FPS version of the game in like 2019. It's already been done. You don't have to go far. Just go to a PC.
It's insane, bro. And quite frankly, the people who use the inflation calculator, anytime you try to bring up the conversation of, oh, okay, so you're saying that the inflation on video games, it should be XYZ price, so we should just be happy it's $90 or whatever, $80. But you realize, like, salaries haven't caught up with inflation at all, right? You realize, like, people's pay, inflation has far outweighed people's pay, you know, in terms of the cost of living and whatnot. This is the biggest issue around that. So yeah, obviously games, you know, back in the day when you account for inflation cost way more, but also most people's salaries are nowhere near what they should be if you were to account for inflation.
Absolutely.
That's why I hate it.
Let's also
I
look
hate
at movie theaters. They've increased their prices with inflation, but where are movie theaters now? Because no one wants to go.
Well,
to
this
movie
is the
theaters
thing
anymore.
that's going to happen. I mean,
That's a good point.
the inevitable outcome of this, as far as I can see, is like when you try to think what will realistically happen if we normalize these kind of prices. Yeah, fine, great, good for you. You'll make more money per purchase. Wonderful, and you will price out such a significant portion of
Mhm.
your potential audience that far fewer people will actually buy the games. So you will ultimately lose money, and it will crash the industry.
Because it's absolutely 100% my view that the Switch 2 isn't going to make nearly as many sales as the original Switch. It'll be lucky to get half. Lucky. If
You
it
did
keeps
that thing
doubling
before
down.
with the pattern, like the Nintendo pattern.
Yeah.
You can look at the amount of copies that was it the N64 sold, then the GameCube, and then you can look at the amount
Yeah.
of copies that the Wii sold versus the Wii U, and it's always it's like 30% or something.
It's up,
And
down,
then-
up, down, up, down. Like a
yeah,
heartbeat.
so by that reckoning, then the Switch 2 is going to get fucked
Yes,
and
and
sell
it needs
hardly
to.
any.
And also
These
keep in mind.
practices-
Go ahead, Brian. No,
I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say these practices need to be condemned. Nintendo need to take the L, which will allow them to then refocus, truly be innovative, and then create something even better. Look at the Wii U disaster and how that led to
To the
one of
Switch,
the
yeah.
best-selling consoles in living memory.
Yeah, it's
And
just such a weird
gamers-
situation
Sorry,
that
go on.
Nintendo has put themselves in because basically, PlayStation 4 prospered because Xbox One completely shit the bed. The Wii U completely shit the bed. And
Yep.
guess what? PlayStation's response was, you know what? We came off of a generation where we were fighting for our fucking lives. Let's just play the pro-consumer aspect of things. And guess what? The PlayStation 4 hit the ground running. And it was a really good generation for them, but at the expense of the top, the other top two console manufacturers being on the cusp of just Wii U was a failure. I don't think that the Switch 2 is going to be nearly as much. Now we're in a landscape of essentially the landscape is everybody is I don't want to say outright shit, but they're all just disgusting to look at. It's like, oh, these games, they're kind of interesting, some of them are just outright slop, but everyone has games that are kind of interesting and a lot of slop too. So they're just competing in a space where they're just like, we just want to be kind of interesting and just fuck you business wise. And it's like, but everybody's just trying to do that now. So how are you guys gonna be in the forefront of the console industry?
I gotta be honest. I think the reason why we have so much slop now is because of the over reliance on subscription services. I think these companies are
I
so
agree.
desperate for content over quality. It's it's the same reason we got so many shitty TV shows, right? It's just putting out content to put out content to keep the machine going because Game Pass has to be fed and
Fucking grifters.
PlayStation Plus has to be fed.
Nintendo doesn't
and
do
Disney
this.
Plus. I know that, but my thing is with Nintendo, they have a different structure for a reason because they have always kept this idea of like never discount anything, right? So for them, it's not about like they try to pitch their value all the time, whereas everybody else is trying to pitch the amount of content they have. Oh, look
Yeah.
at how many exclusive shows we have. Look how many exclusive games we had or used to have anyway, because now they're putting them everywhere for the most part, except
mean,
Nintendo.
But also,
Nintendo
PlayStation doesn't do
still
this either
remains
with the
Nintendo
subscription.
still remains the like gold standard of releasing games that are actually done when they're done and they're released. If they
Yeah.
get delayed, they come out and they are excellent. They are always top quality. They're always extremely polished and well produced and ready for prime time. But that's one of the things is people have got dependent on that. Gamers need to be consistent. If they're gonna criticize other companies, they need to also do it when it's their sacred cow that's turning around and shitting on their face.
Yeah.
I mean, and as for the inflation argument, the PlayStation 4 was $200 or $300 cheaper than the original launch price of the PS3. So don't give me that fucking bullshit. Tech prices drop as we go further through time. It's ludicrous.
Well, the landscape is just weird now.
Yeah.
Just so much unstable like things is going to lead to this kind of stuff. But I will say this, as much as like Game Pass gets shit on, deservingly so. I think that I go out of my way to buy video games I think are worth money. I don't really use Game Pass
Yeah.
unless I'm really hard. Like there was a time like a couple years ago I didn't have a job, so the way for me to
Yeah,
indulge
I
in
did
gaming was to pay $10 for Game Pass a month, and that was
I
helpful
did
to
that
me.
with PlayStation Now for a little while because
yeah.
I was broke as a
It's
joke. And I
very
still wanted to go.
it's very cost effective, but it's just not the sustainable.
But here's the thing. So a lot of people are looking at these prices and saying, fuck it, I might as well just sub to Game Pass or a subscription service and just rock it out because these prices are just unrealistic as fuck. And when you look at Game Pass right now, and who knows, next year could be ass. You look at Game Pass right now, bro, Expedition 33 day one on Game Pass. Doom the Dark Ages, day one on Game Pass. Game Pass has
Terrible
actually
idea.
been kind of fire this year.
It has
realize
because
that's the move.
Microsoft is through Xbox is absolutely desperate to make that system work because if it doesn't work,
They don't care about the
Xbox will
system.
not exist.
They don't
Yeah.
care about the system. They're
No,
creating
they don't.
infrastructure to live past the system's lifespan, the console gaming's lifespan. They want overall infrastructure everywhere, not just with the console. They couldn't give a single fuck about the console.
That's why they keep pushing that advertisement of this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox. They do that because
Yeah,
they're
if you cared
trying
about the
to-
console, you wouldn't do that. Sorry.
Right. You're not trying to do Nintendo does the complete opposite. Like we're Nintendo, this is our thing. You need our thing in order to play our our
Brand
games.
would be a more accurate statement than the hardware, more of a software. In a sense, Xbox is transitioning much more slowly into what Sega ultimately did back in the late 90s and early 2000s.
They're definitely going the Sega route. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna become more of a streaming service rather than any hardware. Like because I don't know if you guys tried any of these streaming, like what's it called, like Luma or something like that for Amazon. Like, it actually works pretty well. I mean, the resolution's not great, but it actually works. So I think Xbox is going to transition towards some sort of a either streaming or just some sort of service in general. They're going to drop hardware.
And the Xbox brand would fit that. The Xbox brand is highly enough regarded that if they went the Stadia Luma route, then they would
And some
actually probably succeed.
Games for everyone at an affordable price.
Some people are saying, but Game Pass is going to go up in price. Okay, so as much as I don't value subscription services, let's say Game Pass, Ultimate goes up to $30, right? That's still like a third
still
the
really
price of an 8-year-old game that's coming to the Switch too. That's
Yeah.
3 months of gaming right
Yep.
there that you're gonna have. If Game Pass is good, because there's some points where it's ass, but it's still some gaming that you have access to all these games. Some are good, some are trash. You kind of have, either way you're entertained. I still don't think that's a terrible thing, as disgusting as it is to say. But look at these prices overall; they suck everywhere.
Well,
Okay, so I want to switch over really quick, Ryan. When you're done, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, once the Switch 2 releases, the most cost-effective console game on the market will be the Xbox Series S, and that is as much a positive as it is a negative for console gaming. It's affordable gaming. It is affordable gaming, but it's not really yours as ownership. And the
Yes.
Xbox Series S is living proof of that concept. A Game Pass machine. Take it away, Hypno.
No, I want to pivot really quick because there's only two things that really have me like super. I guess the word will be confused. The Zelda thing, that's just a greed thing, but this shit blew my mind, bro. So the the GameCube controller.
Yeah. 3 paywalls plus a
this shit
$70
blew
controller.
my mind. So the GameCube controller that they are selling to be on the Switch 2 apparently is only going to work with the GameCube Classics and nothing else. And this controller is not cheap. This controller is like what, 60, 70 bucks?
$80,
I don't know.
I believe.
I don't know the validity to this though, because I was hearing that the
I don't
previous
either.
controllers that Nintendo released
Yeah,
were the
also
same
did the same
deal, but
thing.
I heard that that's not, like, later on was patched or something. I don't know what's true because Nintendo doesn't clarify anything. Like, fuck them for
That's
making us
true.
more confused than anything else.
That's honestly one of Nintendo's
That's
biggest
the
issues.
strategy.
They have zero transparency whatsoever, and the moment drama like revs up, they don't address it
They just
at all.
apologize.
No,
And
they
by
go
the time
completely
they
silent.
They wait like 30 days, and they're like, "Yeah, sorry about what we did last month, bro." People already
Like
moved
an
on to
old
the next
man,
thing.
though.
like an
It's
abusive
like an old
partner.
man. He fucks up, and then It takes them a month to realize. That is Nintendo to a key. Nintendo is like the old man of gaming. They're slow to react to things.
I mean, even the responses from Doug Bowser have been really bad. Like they've been making Nintendo look worse.
Yeah.
They literally, Doug Bowser
true,
is the
Go
new
ahead.
Don Matrix, is all I'm going to say. The statement, if you can't afford a Switch 2, you can still play Switch.
You
is
can't afford a
absolutely-
PS3, get a second job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's the
crazy.
same energy as the 2013 E3 Xbox Live, where they were like E3, where he said, "Well, we have a console for people who can't get a constant online daily check-in internet connection. It's called Xbox 360. So if you're working on a nuclear sub." It's like, wow, you went straight to the most obscure fucking thing. Because you're basically saying that the only excuse to not be online often enough to have an Xbox One is if you are living and working on a nuclear submarine. You fucking idiot.
Oh,
What a
Cassie,
dumbass thing
Cassie,
to
look
say.
at this, Cass, look at this. So this is the advertisement, right,
Mhm.
for the controller.
Yep.
Look at the ever small print at the top.
Holy
The
shit.
controller is only compatible with Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics.
Is that
So you've got to buy. You've got to buy to get this experience, right? That they're
Holy
offering.
shit.
You've got 4 paywalls. You've got to buy the console. You've got to have a Nintendo Online subscription. You've got to upgrade it to the expansion pass, and you've got to drop another 70 on the actual controller. And those 4 criteria have to be met for you to be able to play old, out of date, non HD Wind Waker with a GameCube controller.
Why would it not be possible to use this controller for the actual Switch 2?
You can buy third-party GameCube controllers and adapters.
The only thing I can think of, does this GameCube controller have the right bumper button? Because I have I have like a third-party GameCube controller that has both bumpers, but the original GameCube controller only had one bumper.
The original had a bumper on the right. It didn't have a left bumper yet.
I'm kind of
It had
skeptical
the
about that.
Z button.
I'm skeptical about that image because the text at the top of that image is in a completely different like typeset than what the actual advertisement is.
Yeah,
Well, because they're
do
doing
this
the
stuff like that.
typical what do you call that? The fine print nonsense. Anytime they do fine print nonsense like this, they always make it something that is just very small and abstract.
Yeah.
Especially on something that's like super bright red like this. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So as far as why would that controller not work for non-GameCube games? Like off the top of my head, what I can think of is
Button layout.
when you have console like the system requirements, you have to have like certain icons show up for context sensitive thing, whether the menus or whatever. Like you have to have the correct A button show up, the correct all these icons show up, and they probably just don't want to go through the process of having it switch back and forth between this A button
Nice choice of
for
words.
the Switch 2 console. I'm sorry, the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, and then showing this green A button for the GameCube controller.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, there is actually a practical reason as well in that with the layout of the buttons on the GameCube, your muscle memory would be thrown out of whack because the X button on the GameCube controller is where I think in PlayStation terms, is where the circle button would be.
So
to your thumb's muscle memory,
For
and
the
the
people
Y button
saying-
is where the X button. Sorry, go.
No, I was gonna say for the people saying this might be Photoshop, this is the video. In the video, it's right here at the top. So it's not
shit.
Photoshop. It's real.
That's
So,
100%
Why are you
real.
photoshopping the YouTube video?
All right.
Oh, damn, here we go.
All right. You caught
Premiere
me.
Pro.
I'm just an anti-Nintendo chud.
Literally.
You got me. I'm sorry.
Right.
He has
Sony
the
Vegas ready.
badge on the fucking end screen.
My biggest confusion
Okay.
with this is that, well, it's not really confusion because I do get what's happening here. But like, let's say you're doing good in life, whatever. You buy this controller, you want to play the GameCube, you subscribe to Nintendo Online. Let's say you lose your job, you fall on hard times, you got to unsubscribe from Nintendo Online. This controller is fucking worthless then at
Yeah,
that
it's
point,
worthless
right?
at
It's
that
like nothing. You can't use it for absolutely anything.
Correct.
Door stop.
So the moment you unsubscribe, like you're a slave to that subscription. The moment you unsubscribe, I mean, you got to lose the GameCube games anyway. So what does it matter? You can't use it for any other actual games.
Cool.
Well, how is
So-
it going to resell? What's the resell value in it, especially after because
It's gonna have no resale
history
value.
of this of shutting
Guys,
systems
not-
down that get too
Cassie,
old.
go ahead. Cassie, what's up?
Not for nothing, like, guys, this isn't the early 2000s where you bought a third-party controller because you were broke and accepted the fact that the input latency was gonna be ass. Like, that's not a thing anymore. There's so many great third-party
Mad cat.
controllers. I have a third-party GameCube controller that works extremely well. I have it for Smash Bros. Because I don't mind using the Pro controller, but, like, my cousin wants to use the GameCube controller, so it's fine. It's wireless. There's no input latency. It has the extra bumper. Like, please indulge in third-party controllers because they're cheaper. They work just as well. They offer these little these little nuances that Nintendo doesn't even think to do. It's not the 2000s anymore. You have to worry about input latency. Third-party controllers are great, and they're cheaper.
Yep.
I don't know. I think this is this is pretty wild. I feel like it wouldn't have taken much more development time to make this a viable controller to use for the actual Switch 2 itself. I mean, I have two actual third-party controllers for the regular Switch that work.
The thing is here,
really
Steam has Steam input, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
change the glyphs that you'll see in the game. Most of the time, it works.
Well,
Doesn't work
it's
with everything.
it's not
But that's
just
'cause- Go on.
it's not just implementing it the first time, but it also adds additional work to like regression testing for future projects. For example, like they come up with a new game, new Mario, whatever. They have to test it on the Joy-Cons, but then they have to also test it on all the other different controller types that show these different UI elements as well. So it accumulates.
They don't want to pay the testers or something.
They
Like,
just want to simplify things. That's
Nice.
more.
$450 a
the
console.
people
I
that
think they
don't
can
wanna-
pay the
the people that
testers.
don't want to discount their games don't want to pay for testing. I'm not.
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah.
My shock.
I mean, I
that
totally
old
see where you're
man
coming from, and I'm
syndrome.
being black-pilled as fuck, but that sounds like a slap in the face. You know?
Nintendo at this point resonates with an old man who's getting dementia because nothing else explains failure after failure after
Really is
failure
bad.
after a generation of success. Nintendo's got dementia and they're fucking dying and they don't even know it. They
What I
think
think
this
is-
is good.
What I think is more egregious than this garbage GameCube controller that I wouldn't waste my money on is the fact that they're paywalling these GameCube games that I just wish I can buy outright and be fucking done with it. That to me hurts me
That's
more
what I
than
was gonna
anything
say.
else.
That's
I want
what
to
was
just
gonna
buy
say,
them.
That Nintendo, when it comes to preservation, Nintendo is the shittest at it. Like that, whatever game
shittiest.
exists. I meant to say shittest on purpose. That was an on purpose thing.
Shittiest.
I know it's shittiest, but I want to say anyway.
The
so-
most shit.
Nigga, shut up. Anyway, at any rate, Nintendo is the shittest at preservation. Like they have games that exist on a specific console, and that game does not move to the next console at like a discounted price or anything like that. You have to wait until they put it on their emulator and stuff like that. But if you go out of your way to go ahead and, I don't know, maybe emulate the game onto your PC or something like that, if you broadcast that like a moron, Nintendo's like, all right, we got to send our ninjas after you. Like, it's something that's one of the things I really hate about Nintendo is that they just don't like the idea of reselling things or even having like a preservation system for the stuff. Like these are games that people
they
grew
want to
up
be the only ones to preserve it.
Yeah, or
They're
something like that.
absolutely turning into the gaming version
And most of the time,
Disney.
they don't even preserve it very well.
They don't.
That's the ironic thing.
They're gaming
Emulators do a
Disney.
better job.
It's the Disney model. Hey, you want to buy this movie because we put it on an inferior, low-quality DVD and it broke after 5 playthroughs? Sorry, Sonny, you're going to have to wait 15 years because it's back in the vault. You piece of
Nintendo
shit.
is going full retard because they're trying to essentially beat the internet. You cannot beat the internet. You're going to have
No.
ROMs of your games out there, whether you like it or not.
Correct.
Just sell the fucking games to people and get your bag instead of the nonsense that you're doing. Because at this point, all I'm seeing is them offloading their lawyer fees onto us with these nonsense prices.
To be fair, Cassie, to be fair, I mean, you got to remember who was in charge over at Nintendo. These aren't exactly, young whippersnappers. Like these are people that are like 60, 70, 80 years old. They don't quite understand the culture of like, you're not going to beat the internet.
They don't care. They don't care about
They
the culture.
don't. They don't give a fuck.
think
That's
They
why they
even
call
know
them
what the
ninjas.
fucking internet is.
They
The
call them
basis-
Nintendo ninjas for a reason.
The basis of how Nintendo operates is that they want to be the grandfather that doesn't change, but they'll sucker you anyway because they offer all of these games that children love and adore, and so generation after generation will love Nintendo, even despite them conducting themselves like a grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they have this grandfatherly image and mindset, and that helps them to get away with doing fucking egregious things. Because older people, they do egregious things. It's like, he's just old. Don't worry about him. It's okay. But if someone our age, 20s to 40s, did it, they get fucking canceled.
Nintendo has a stranglehold on essentially almost every childhood gamer's nostalgia. They have not only is it
That's all
nostalgia, but
they
it's your
have.
childhood. And so everyone will
all
give
they
them the
have.
benefit of the doubt as much as they possibly can up until they can't anymore. But everyone's line for that is different.
Until Granddad crashes the car, and it's like,
I just hit my
we've gotta
fucking
change
line
things here.
I recall seeing this thread where somebody posted a picture of Nintendo's headquarters, and it's just this beige building, and people are disappointed. They're like, "Oh, I imagined something very colorful and fun." It's like, no, they're
Well, that's
business.
Yeah, that's the
This old
perception.
Nickelodeon building. I don't know if you guys remember that. The one with the
Oh,
big ass
man.
foot on it.
Nickelodeon
Big ass foot on it,
Studios,
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, share my screen, if you don't mind.
Guys, real quick, I gotta head out, but it's really good talking to you,
Make
especially
like a
you,
fetus and head
Mustafa.
out.
It was
Oh,
really
fuck,
interesting hearing
man.
your
Oh my
perspective on
God.
things. So thank you so much for joining us.
Hey,
pleasure.
Yo,
I appreciate it.
Read the Big Verse
Absolutely.
chat, Cassie, on your way out.
All right, I got you. But
Gotta read
thanks
it
guys so
now.
much. If you want to check me out, Cult Classic Cage on YouTube and Mario Kart on Twitter. Yes, I will stay with that username. I don't care if Nintendo ninjas come at me. I carry, so go fuck yourself, ninjas. But peace out, guys.
Peace out, man.
Peace.
Have fun.
Just buy
What the fuck
these
is this, Will?
things. This is an adapter you
Adapter.
can use to plug a GameCube controller, an actual official GameCube controller, into a PC. You can have up to 4, so you can play 4-player split screen. And, if you can find a way to get Nintendo games to run on your PC, God knows how you would do something like that. This is a very effective way of getting that authentic experience without having to pay Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nice.
fuck them. All right, I got a wild card topic for you. Are we
Ooh.
done talking about Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yes. Nintendo is the Joe Biden of gaming. Carry on.
Guys, we got a fresh topic. Fresh topic just happened. Well, not just happened, but for those of you out there that are curious, Death Stranding 2 will feature an accessibility option that will let players clear boss fights without engaging in combat.
Absurd.
Mad. He's mad.
What are we thinking?
I'm thinking this is insane. The first time I saw an example of this, folks, of skip battles, was in Dustborn, and I could not believe it. I mean, why? If you want to play the game, you play every aspect of that game. Why would you buy something or even rent something and then skip features of that game? It's insane, and it should be called out, and it should be condemned.
So you already know what the argument's going to be for this, right? From the journalists and especially who's the chick that swears she's a writer, but she really just talks about accessibility? What's her name again?
Grace Randolph? Or are you talking about Kelly Plague?
The hot blonde from like Australia or something like that. That
Kelly Plague?
No,
I can
supposedly-
see her, but I don't remember her fucking name.
Supposedly she worked-
Alana Pierce.
Alana Pierce.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, she
You
talks
said the one
about
with the-
accessibility. She was the one that said that it's a disability to have kids or something like that. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. If you said that, I'd be like, oh, that broad.
Yeah.
The pizza man knocking on your door is a disability.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I can't believe she said that. It's hilarious. You already know she's gonna be all for this, obviously. People like that. This is fucking dumb, right? This is like I think gaming will officially be done once they put a feature like this in Elden Ring or something like that. You know what I mean? But at this point, like you said, Ryan, why play the game? Right? If you just want to have, I mean, listen, even interactive movie games like Heavy Rain have gameplay. This is equivalent to you essentially letting Heavy Rain play on its own and having a canon mode and deciding which way in the story it wants to go for you. Like, what is the point of playing the game? At this point, just watch a movie. I don't understand. I mean, Death Stranding, to my knowledge anyway, is basically a running simulator as it is anyway. So the little bit of combat and boss battles that you get to have, you're just going to skip that? Just be like, all right, well, time to watch a movie.
I think the only reason that these accessibility options exist is to allow the journo rats to actually complete the products first.
They
to
never
get their
complete the
reviews
game.
out.
They never do.
But the thing is, they don't ever complete the game to get the reviews out. You know what's hilarious? They reviewed their games for Black Myth Wukong, and almost every single one of them reviewed the games for the pre-release copy, which was only 2 chapters. And the funny thing is, most of them didn't even get to the end of chapter 2 of Black Myth Wukong because they were all saying that there was no female representation in the game. Meanwhile, at the end of chapter 2, you literally meet the first female boss. Come to find out, there's 4 others or something like that. It's the sisters. That's the Spider Sisters or whatever. And then there's a bunch of female representation from chapter 3 onward. But they all ran with the story of, there's no female representation in this. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, that's why the industry, the medium, video games journalism is dying. It deserves to die, just like journalism itself deserves to die. When people constantly lie and cheat in front of your faces for years, if not decades, that industry does not deserve to exist. We're seeing that with video games journalism. We're seeing it with journalism as a whole. And we are going to see it in console gaming. And so much the better. The sooner it happens, the better it is to make entertainment great again.
Yeah, man.
I
think
have a
this
question.
is. Yeah, go ahead.
If journalists get advanced copies to review games as they release, get the street release, or as the street release happens, what the hell are they doing in that time frame where they have the game early? Like, why are you not just playing the game
at that point? They're just doing whatever the fuck they want, like masturbating. They don't play games.
You know what's so odd to me? What's odd to me is that they claimed that a lot of them did anyway. They would claim they spent 30 to 40 hours playing Black Myth Wukong, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, all right, 30 to 40 hours. They only have access to 2 chapters. And they're all claiming that there's little to no female. Well, actually, no female, not even little. They said no female representation in the game. So if you spent almost 40 hours playing 2 chapters and you didn't even get to the end of the second chapter to find out there's women in the game, what the fuck were you doing in the first chapter and a half that you spent 40 hours? Like, I explored the entire first 2 chapters in like 8 hours, not even.
Yeah.
What the fuck were you possibly doing? I guarantee you they're just making up a number that, they want to make up a number that sounds good. And chances are when they say 30 to 40 hours, they probably mean everybody who worked there played collectively 30 to 40 hours. They all had 1 hour, 2 hour each, and they all just played and enjoyed the free game that they got for chilling. And
we're talking about journalists.
Yeah.
How many of them are left though, Hypno? Like a dozen? Like a dozen mainstream video games?
There's like 30, 35 left or something like that, they said.
A few dozen. Oh.
Last year it was high 40s. Now it's like mid 30s. It's dwindling. It's dwindling.
We should all have like a celebration when they're all gone.
I'm not celebrating.
Like when there's just none left, and we have a party, we have a drink, we have an orange juice for those who don't drink, and just revel in the fact that the opposition are resting in peace.
No,
they're not going to ever be fully gone until the industry finds a consistent, reliable replacement for them. So right now, they don't have enough big content creators to equal the amount of journalists they used to have. Because you got to remember, these are a lot of outlets that are releasing dozens of articles a day, which, by the way, I find it amazing that these journalists are the ones to call us slop YouTubers because we release 3 videos or less a day. But these motherfuckers release copy-paste articles, 15 to 20 articles a day on their website
Legitimately.
nonstop, and it's literally just bullshit. It's all just bullshit for the most part. So anyway, I just find that ironic. Yeah, they're not gonna fully be replaced until they find a reliable source of certain content creators to take their spots. Which, don't get me wrong, there are some shill YouTubers, but just in a quantity standpoint, there isn't enough, I think, to really warrant a full replacement of the mainstream access media.
And even if there were enough, the quality certainly isn't there, because it takes all sorts to be a content creator.
Yeah.
Whether you're for what we do, or if you love dick riding the industry for little trinkets. Moo Khalif Adams. Moo Adams.
Damn.
Oh yeah, they're all
Bastard.
moving. They definitely all
You
moving.
look like a black version of me. It's terrifying.
Nah, he looks like Uncle Phil.
I remember the black version of you from that race swap picture that they had. I should have never deleted that. That was a great picture.
Oh.
You don't have that, Mr. Keep records of everything? You don't have that?
No, because I write it all down.
You think he would keep a picture of him as black?
Yes.
Nope. No.
I figured he would put it on behind him on the wall or something. It was great. I'm gonna take your picture and have AI make you black. Hopefully it becomes similar. We'll see.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I just think this is hilarious. Anybody here played Death Stranding 1, by the way?
No, I only watch people play. My wife to be, she played it, and she enjoys the game. I guess I don't know how long she played it after after the patch, after they actually added like combat and shit to it. But from what I've seen of the gameplay, it's just very fucking pretty. That's the one thing that Kojima's good at, is making his games look very fucking pretty.
I mean, so I love Hideo Kojima games, and Death Stranding was the only one that I actually, and this was a long time ago, obviously, that I actually let other people's opinions sway me away from playing the game, at least at release anyway, because I usually play his games almost immediately. I love the way he tells his stories and just how unbelievably wild some of the shit that he comes up with. Especially his NPC and enemy design is just, when you see a Hideo Kojima NPC or enemy or boss, like, you know, he had something to do with it. Like, you could tell his design from a mile away. So eventually I am going to give it a shot. But you know, people calling it a walking simulator and shit, I just got turned off. But again, with this particular thing, at this point, bro, you might as well just watch someone stream the game. If you're gonna play the game that's essentially a walking simulator to the point where you can't even engage in the combat or boss battles or anything, just fucking watch a streamer play the game. It's the same thing at this point.
So my opinion on this, like, I'm a busy guy. I barely play games anymore. Like, if I do, I play something with my kids, like Mario, something that they can play with me or enjoy because they're little kids. I don't want them to be horrified by blood and all that. But anyways, so I don't play that games that often. But because I'm so busy, I would love for more short games I could play on my own. And a lot of these games I'm interested, they're just way too long. Like, I'm never going to play The Witcher 3 because it's just way too long. I do not have the time. Like, I deliberately did not play Death Stranding because of how long it is, and it's like a lot of walking from what I hear. So I'm not gonna play that game. I love, like, Metal Gear Solid changed my life. It's one of my top games. I love Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear Solid, and 2 and 3. They changed my life. But I don't care to play such a long, 70-hour, 80-hour game that's mostly walking. And so my opinion is, if they did the opposite of what they're doing, if they made a mode that would cut the fat and get me to the good parts, and I could beat the game in like 10 hours instead of 80, I would love that.
Hey, Ubisoft have developed a feature for that, my good man. You just have to pay them to make it possible.
Unfortunately, when it comes to games like Death Stranding and Metal Gear and stuff like that, you get more cutscene than you get gameplay. So you won't know what's actually happening. You just be pressing buttons.
Hideo, nonstop cutscenes. That's obvious.
He definitely wants to make movies.
He actually has.
There's a reason why there's YouTubers out there that have Metal Gear movie compilations where they just take all the cutscenes and they make
Metal
one
Gear-
long YouTube video.
Metal Gear Solid 4, actually, the final cutscene, the final cutscene is
Like over 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
close. Yeah, it's like I think it's like an hour 47 minutes or something like that. It's basically a fucking movie in its own.
Well, I feel like
Kojima
he was
is
trying to
for-
wrap up a lot of shit in Metal Gear Solid 4 that he didn't probably feel like he had time for. A lot of loose ends.
Because he was running out of time. The collaboration with Konami had reached its course even then, as they were starting to fracture. But Kojima has always been very off wall, which is why I think the collaboration with Konami really balanced it out. Then Konami went fucking nuts, so Kojima had to go his own way. And folks, when you let a creative go their own way, then you get, some quirks here and there, but usually a good product until they go off the wall and absolutely insane, Zack Snyder, and just take pieces of everything else and put it all together.
I gotta tell you, man, I would have loved to see what he would have done with Silent Hills. I fucking still I still dread the fact that we don't have a Hideo Kojima and what the fuck's the other guy's name? Guillermo del Toro. Like we don't have a Silent Hills from those two guys, man. I feel like that would have been the most disgusting, fucked up, like horror game. Can you imagine Hideo making a fucking dude? Oh man.
Well, Konami has gone, as Will pointed out recently, Konami has undergone a regime change to be more gamer focused, away from pachinko machines and gambling. So there may be a possibility for future collaboration, but when Kojima is burnt once, he usually doesn't give anyone the opportunity to do it a second time. He's that kind of guy. But at least now with the new regime over at Konami, there could be a possibility for collaboration, especially if Konami's recent releases and their future projects do well and resonate.
Well, that explains why Jeff Keighley hasn't stopped sucking his dick yet.
That's why it's a running joke between those two guys.
It is. It's been years, my dude. Let it out. It can pop out the mouth. Let it be.
Oh, that's fucking nasty. Mario, that's what we're talking about. Well, that's what I was talking about. I was talking when PT was basically a tech demo for a game called Silent Hills that would have been made by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro with Norman Reedus as a star, but then they ended up going to Death Stranding after the whole drama happened. So yeah, that would have been fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that. That's one game that I feel like the gaming world was robbed of that one, because PT, I mean, if you want to talk about random games that took the internet by storm, PT was definitely that game.
Definitely one of them.
And I remember the backlash that they got by them taking it off of the store. You know, people were selling consoles that had PT installed or something like that. Crazy shit. All right. Well, any last thoughts on this particular topic? I know it's random, but
I'm just amazed there's a Death Stranding 2. I mean, where can they take the story from here? It was
It's Hideo Kojima. What are you talking about, bro? He could probably do this up to like 6 Death Strandings, probably.
Yeah, I know he's uber creative, but he goes in some strange places, man.
Hey, look,
Like,
this man
dimensionally different places.
This man released one of the best video game franchises in the order of 23154 or 23145. Like it's
what are we talking
about? Metal Gear. Like the first Metal Gear Solid was like it's basically, as far as the timeline goes, it's the second iteration.
Right,
Like, technically it's the third. But
everybody hates on the second one. I don't know why. I actually like the second one a lot.
The second was the second was Guns of the Patriot? Not Guns of the Patriots. But,
No.
Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty, yeah.
The second one was ahead of its time. It told
Yeah.
the future. We're living
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, I like the second one a lot.
I will say I liked the first one, the second one. I played a little bit of Snake Eater and for some reason couldn't get into it. And then I played the shit out of 4. And then 5 I tried to get into, and 5 just bored the hell out of me with all that fucking running.
You know what's funny? No, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just going to echo Sheep Sidian's statement. That's exactly how I was like when playing those games, because I think the original Metal Gear Solid was released the same year I was born. So I played most of, if not all of the Metal Gear games in the future. So I didn't play any of them at their release, and I had a similar
played them when they're
situation
set.
with Sheik.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is actual proof that for the people out there that try to say, "Oh, there was no drama around video games. That's only now because
That's
of grifters
horseshit.
or whatever."
Yeah, it's always
Like,
been
bro, that's
horseshit.
horseshit. I could go way back older and older, but like Metal Gear Solid 2, there was so much drama around that game because that was one of the biggest bait and switches of its time. Where people, that's where a lot of the backlash was. People were like, "Wait, what the fuck? We're not playing as Solid Snake. What's going on here?"
You're playing as
People
Red.
people lost their mind over that shit.
I remember my friend was telling me, he was like, "You don't play a Snake." I was like, "You're lying to me. No way."
I didn't believe it either until I
was
read.
baffled.
I think it was Game Informer, or I don't remember the magazine, but I remember seeing the magazine and seeing Raiden. I don't know if he was on the cover or if he was one of the first big story pages. But you see Raiden on the page, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
When people saw the artwork of Raiden and Snake on the covers of magazines, they thought it was a girl.
Yeah, they did.
I remember when I played that the first time as well. It was not long after it came out, and you get past the tanker. What's the matter? Try not to shoot yourself.
I thought you were roboting. That was probably just me.
No, that was
Oh.
you.
That was you.
Yeah. Anyways,
I thought
you get that scene.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Wait, I
You
haven't
get
played that one.
The fucking colonel's like, Snake,
Oh,
you remember
yeah,
that
spoilers
mission
for
that happened
Metal
on
Gear
the tanker?
Solid 2. Sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah. Spoilers for a game that's like
You're right,
20...
Will. After the tanker, man, people. I remember
you
having
get
that
and then
reaction.
you
I'm
get
like, who
the
is this?
colonel's the colonel's voice comes in. You're like, that's weird. The colonel's back. Okay. And he's like, Snake, you remember that incident with the tanker that happened 2 years ago? And he's like, yeah. Instead of David Hayter's doing Solid Snake, I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. You can clearly see it's a different person. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And when I remember playing and I'm like, all right, this is different. Maybe we'll play a Solid Snake in an hour or two, and then kept playing and playing and playing, and he
To be
doesn't
honest,
show up.
I'm not gonna lie. I was not one of the people who completely lost their fucking shit about it. I just accepted it.
I
But
see.
It was jarring at first,
I didn't accept it. I was mad.
Well, a simple change though would have completely killed the controversy. Just switch the two characters and who you play as. Just switch.
I mean, they did
No
give you they gave you Snake in the plant with substance, but only in the Snake Tails
Yeah.
missions that you could do.
And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the story of 2. I think it was really good.
It's aged
especially
really
the
well.
fucking freaky ending with
It's
the
aged
colonel
so well.
and everything. It is really good.
That
and even though
whole
after playing it
is-
and thinking,
go.
wow, that was pretty cool, I was so pissed I didn't get to play a Snake. I was like, this is fucking dumb.
I think people were rightfully upset about not being able to play a Snake because Solid Snake was such a good character. That was such a good journey to go through in Metal Gear Solid 1. And he's such a masculine, strong guy. And then he gets switched off with someone who physically looks more feminine. And not
It's
only that, but
designed that way.
he's whining. And then he like him and Rose are arguing with each other. And it's like, I want Snake.
To be fair, Rose
sounds
was a
woke.
bitch.
No, it doesn't. It only sounds woke if you're John Delarose.
To be fair,
Where's my furry costume?
Rose is a bitch, so I understand why he was upset.
I mean, it's not even the real Rose, is it?
It's not.
No,
it's
It's,
not.
um,
But
the
still,
AI.
and that's the greatest part about all of it.
Yeah, and that is freaky. The idea of AI trying to fool you back in 2001, when that is a potential issue in this day.
So
and
that's
age.
the thing now is that people said that 2 was nowhere near as good as 1 because the plot. They said it was just trying to do Metal Gear Solid again, and then they actually made that the story. But then you have that freaky fucking ending where it all goes crazy and you're running naked through the
Yep.
through Arsenal.
I
gear.
think the ending absolutely made that game.
Yeah, I love it. But
I
you know,
remember not
it-
even understanding it at first for the first 2 playthroughs until I finally kept playing through it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
it's nature versus nurture, isn't it? Like the Metal Gear Solid focuses on whether genes dictate your destiny, and then Metal Gear Solid 2 is whether you can be taught to be Solid Snake, basically. But But then the thing I've just realized, like, well, I've thought about it a few times, but I don't bring it up very often, is when you think about it, Solid Snake is the snake of the series, really. Like, Big Boss is not was not originally supposed to be like the more main character, although arguably is now, because you've played as Big Boss in more games than you have played as Solid Snake.
Yeah,
like Metal Gear Solid 1, you get to play as Solid Snake, half of Metal Gear Solid 2, and then he's Old Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4. So it doesn't feel the same at all. And that's it. That's all the Solid Snake time you've ever actually had in Metal Gear.
The amazing thing is
Apart from
that
the original 2.
Hideo proved that you can make politically themed games and actually tell an amazing story that doesn't even make you think of real world politics. Like, you're just thinking of the in-game story, and then you start realizing, oh man, this can actually happen one day. And then ironically it did.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you kind of think oh, this is completely unrealistic, but this is one of those games that kind of trained you subconsciously to rebel against systems of control.
Yep.
Because Kojima could see it coming, even in the early 2000s. He and his team could see it coming, because when you were that creatively minded, you have the finger on the pulse of not only the present but also the future. So they saw this kind of concept and mindset coming, and just creatively twisted it into a franchise and made it what it is today, despite Survive being absolutely awful. The Metal Gear Solid franchise is there. It's stood the test of time.
Yeah, the Metal Gear games, I always point to those when people say, like, keep politics out of art. I don't want politics in my art. And the thing is, politics and just having a strong message can work in art. It's just people don't want to be bashed on the head over the message. Like, there needs to be subtlety, there needs to be nuance, and that's what Hideo Kojima understood. And not only that, not only having nuance and subtlety, but he also explored multiple angles, like all the people, all the boss fights, like all the characters of Foxhound. Like, you might not agree with them, but you can understand their point of view.
How they got to this point.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as well, if you're going to do a political story or a pseudo-political story or a sci-fi political story, make the politics interesting.
Right.
Make it like big deal, like high level politics, not like who decides what fucking gender they are and stuff like that. The minutia of social issues that we get fucking hit with these days.
Well, that's why in 2 it was initially ride or die, rescue the president, that sort of thing, and then it really went deep in its high stakes do or die.
The president
when you're
isn't
taking
even
on
real control, but
when you are taking on a literal AI dominated system with the Patriots leadership as a front, and by the end of the game, sorry, spoilers, but you take out a component of it, a piece of it, but the brain of it is still intact.
I mean, the fact that they went back to the 60s with number 3 was really jarring for a lot of people at first. Like, what does this have to do with anything? And you think to yourself, oh, well, I guess this is the philosopher's legacy thing. It ultimately becomes the Patriots or something somehow.
Yeah.
What you don't get until later is that the entire main cast of Metal Gear Solid 3 is the Patriots.
Yeah.
You are the Patriots, between Big Boss, even the doctor, like fucking the what's her name, paramedic who's on the phone to you is the woman who does the Les Enfants Terribles project. The guy Sigan is the DARPA chief. Like later, it's fucking amazing.
It's an
Zero
amazing,
is the
like,
final bad guy. You know?
Yeah, the way
That's
they
why
brought it all together. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cheap.
I was about to say, and that's why Akiba's the hero, because he was too fucking clumsy to go ahead and go through with the project.
But Johnny Sasaki.
Yeah,
the guy who shits himself. It ends up with Meryl.
It ends up with Meryl at the end. Yeah,
I know. Bastard. And they kind of designed him to look like a younger version of Solid Snake as well. When you finally see his face in 4, he's got like a mullet.
He is a good, funny character. All right, let's catch up on super chats. We are done with that topic. Where do we end? We got
I gotta eat, but I'll be here.
Yeah. We got Old Man Cad with a 5. Off the grid allows taking the cyber arms and legs of downed opponents and their weapons and gear. Basically, they come back with nada. That sounds sick. So after
like
you
a
kill the enemy,
multiplayer-
you can take their stuff.
Yeah, it's like the multiplayer version of what the Surge did in their combat system.
Oh yeah,
You-
I remember
you
that
take
game.
I gotta be
pieces
honest
out-
with you. Yeah, no, finish before I
No,
say
no.
it.
When you defeat enemies, if you target certain pieces of the body, you take them out and get a certain amount, and it adds to your arsenal to upgrade. I liked the Surge franchise 1 and 2. They were not easy games to play, but then Focus decided to refocus on this other project that ended up falling flat, and we never got a Surge 3. But
I
go
love it
ahead.
when games have consequences to things like that. That's why I love the Nemesis system so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the Surge is probably one of the only Souls-like games that just didn't hit for me. Like I enjoyed the way that you could take off armor and weapons from enemies and whatnot, but it just didn't hit. I don't know. I mean, I played them. I don't know. Kind of just
It was
threw 'em away.
too much inspiration and not enough innovation, as it were, as a concept.
I
They
think
were
I didn't
not-
like the combat. It was so clunky. Like that's
Yeah,
really what it was
that's
for
what
me.
made it, and it made it more difficult, especially in the first game. I think they did polish things up with the second game, but this was during the era of lots of Souls like copies taking
yeah.
inspiration.
Everything
from the
was a
Dark
Souls-like
Souls
copy.
franchise.
Mozambique with a 5. Gaming is no longer for gamers; it's for consumers, and Nintendo is going all in on it. Fair. That's what
Yep.
happens when your hobby becomes mainstream. Furious Dan with a 2. South of Feminist Night is a racist game. I didn't even get to talk about South of Midnight.
did not.
Man, the fucking game.
Another black-oriented game that fails. Surprise, surprise.
Not even interesting enough to talk about on the weekend.
I know. I know.
Or the week
Heistman
after.
for 12 months. Don't give up the fight. It's not over yet. Hypnotic. No retreat. No surrender. And show no mercy on Woke Mod.
Row,
Shout out to you, bro. Hypno. Oh man. Hypno's goldfish.
Golly.
For it too. And all it says is fish can't talk.
Neither can dogs or
Why
cats.
does the fish look retarded? What did you do here?
Well, thank you for that donation.
And then ironically, right after that, Hypnotic semi-autistic grandson for a 5. My gums hurt because my teeth are coming in. I don't like it. They hurt the nipple.
Yes, they do.
Oh my god. The Joker for a 2. What's up, Hypnotic and everyone? How is everyone doing? Doing good, man.
Very well.
Doing good.
Alive.
Hypnotic and Rapture for a 2. Lumi wants Hypnotic to raid her or she'll bully you. Don't threaten me with a good time. Hypno's Cat with a 2. A Smash JT option. No thanks. Solin the Lich with ARS 100. Nintendo Bait and Switch 2. Best advertising for Steam Deck. ROG Ally. Aya Neo, or with little know-how, any mid-high tier old phone from 2 to 4 years ago can easily be used as an emulator. Fuck them.
True.
Yep, and they're going to war with these emulators. They really are.
They're trying their best.
Scooby Pup with a 5. Metal Gear Rising and perfect for Raiden was so much fun. You know what's crazy? So Metal Gear Rising, when I first played it, I was like, this is fucking stupid. And then a little bit into it, I was like,
wait,
this ain't that fucking stupid. And then about 10 hours into it, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And I really did this roller coaster of emotions was kind of wild. But I think because going into it, you have Metal Gear in the name, you're thinking, okay, it's gonna be stealth action kind of game, but more so stealth than anything. And you're not thinking sword slinging badass, you know what I mean? Or it's not
be
what's
real
on your
though.
mind.
The game is stupid, but it's stupid in the right way.
Right.
Hideo Kojima way.
And the music was amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say that soundtrack fucking hits.
Yeah, the music was fucking badass.
Did a lot to repair the relationship between the fans and Raiden as well.
I was always a fan of Raiden, to be fair.
What was that last boss's name? Senator Arnold or something like that?
Senator Armstrong.
Yeah,
Armstrong. Yeah.
He was
That
hilarious too, by the way.
Oh, Senator Armstrong was one of the best over the top. That is cartoonishly evil.
Make America great again, and then he kicks your head like a football.
The game is basically like a fucking anime. Like you're watching an anime, but just kind of play out. But yeah, I think what it was for me was I went into it with the wrong mindset. Not realizing what it was. I bought it. I was young and dumb. I bought it not realizing that it's going to be that kind of a game. And then little by little, I was like, oh, okay, I'm digging this. And then the music got better. The combat got better. I'm like, all right, this is not bad.
It's also living proof of a road not taken for Metal Gear, because they could have taken that concept. I know it was very unique to the character of Raiden, but they could have taken that concept, run with it, and reinvent the franchise, and it may have been led to greener pastures, and we wouldn't have gotten Survive. That could have been a great idea for Survive.
Senator Armstrong is cool.
Thing.
Senator Armstrong was
I'm just looking at pictures of Senator Armstrong.
Oh, he's
now,
so
'cause I
fucking
forgot.
dope.
It's
He's
like
hilarious.
this is such a Hideo Kojima sense of humor thing to do as well. It's like have a character who looks boring and has a boring name, and then make him a fucking beast, a lunatic.
Crazy.
Like Senator Armstrong has one of my favorite memes. Is like when people say my sources, I made it the fuck up. That shit was hilarious.
Quagmire. Quagmire for a 10. I'm super pumped for the Snake Eater remake. Looks like a 1-for-1. What are your thoughts, panel? I'm hearing that it's not censored, which is a huge plus to me. But then again, you hear that, and then you play and you realize that's not true.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
I wasn't sure at first about like the character model of Eve looked like she'd been kind of nerfed in terms of beauty, but I think actually I've seen a bit more of her now from different angles. So it's just more or less the same. So
Well, I've heard that it's quite difficult to remake Metal Gear based games, especially the fourth one, because of all the licensing issues and the rights issues, especially product placement, because that was a thing.
Yeah, that
back
was
then.
hella product
Konami,
placement, yeah.
Even back then, Konami was slowly seeping into gambling, money. But
Yeah.
it's good to see a remake. Konami need all the wins they can get. They just fidelity is the key to stick to the origins of a previous product and remake it in the sense that it can stand up with great releases today without changing any key elements that made the previous project great enough to get a remake. Because that's what only great games should get remakes. Because they've stood the test of time for decades.
I really appreciate how close they're making it look like, though. I just can't let go of the fact that it doesn't look exactly like it due to the fact that it's lacking the tint. Like Snake Eater was very yellow and green.
That olive tint, yeah.
Yeah. But then this one doesn't have that tint, which I mean technically looks better, but it just doesn't have that same feeling.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna have. I mean, it's hard. It's hard, man, because they put that tint in place due to the lack of graphical fidelity back in the day. So they were trying to showcase that kind of like jungle-esque,
It created sort of a haze, so you didn't notice the pixelation of the leaves of
the
grass
haze
and
was
stuff
a
like
bit
that.
annoying, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially when you went into like the underground levels that didn't have it. You're like, whoa, holy shit, you didn't realize.
It's clean.
Yeah.
I can see.
Scooby Pop for a 10. Metal Gear Rising was perfect for Raiden. The gameplay style worked, and it still had a hint of Metal Gear, but just enough for Raiden's story to pick up on. Yeah, I would say it was pretty good. Like Sheep said, a lot of people, they felt redeemed when it came to Raiden. Raiden kind of got redeemed in a lot of people's eyes.
I think it undid all of his progression from 4 though, because he had his own arc in 4.
Yeah, he did.
And then like they made him human enough to like be with his family, and then they're like, nope, get rid of all that. He's Jack the Ripper again.
They just basically hit him with the Shadow the Hedgehog treatment for those that know at least.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not going to be as sympathetic. No, absolutely not.
One of the things that I am hyped for with Metal Gear Delta is, and just sounds kind of silly, but I've always wanted to see what Snake's face really looks like in his prime. Because by the time you got to like high end enough graphics to have like almost complete facial,
he was old.
Reality, he was old, and you got a mask of him to wear, but you could never really like look at it up close and sort of be like, oh, so that's actually what they've been trying to portray in these other games for years. So now you get that. I don't know why that is a thing for me. It just I think maybe because the artwork's so abstract as well. There's no real picture of like this is what the man's face actually looks like. So I was kind of interested to see that.
We'll get that. What's up, Shoot?
So this one will probably I don't know if this is news to you, Hypno, but did you know that Konami also worked on some Shaman King games?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they got a list of them from
Not surprised.
for Game Boy
I
Advance and
did
stuff.
know that.
They were actually really good. Like I played like 2 of them, but yeah, I would, if you can find them, I recommend them. They're great. They're basically like platforms. They're like Castlevania style.
Okay,
They're really good.
fair enough. I'm not surprised, Konami, considering. Emilio Martinez with a 199. Delta has the green tint. You can turn it on. Oh, check that out.
Oh,
You
cool.
can get that. You
That's
can
nice
get
to
that
know.
nostalgic feel. That's
You
interesting.
hit that. It's funny. You hit that green tint. It just basically brings back the PS2 version.
That's
I'm
kind of like the.
amazed Konami didn't just sell that version at full price and pull a Naughty
For
Dog.
Nintendo.
That's kind of like the Lara Croft remasters, where you could turn on or off the remaster and go from
Yeah.
pixelated
Go
to
pixel
not
to real.
pixelated.
Didn't the Master Chief Collection also do something like that? We can switch between
To the-
old
A lot,
yeah,
of
the
the, a
retro.
lot of the games tend
The
to do
old
that.
style.
Yeah. Real quick, we got Rumble. Anti-Federalist paying for a 5. Everyone seems to forget Xbox and PlayStation are competitors. Microsoft and Sony are not. Are you surprised a software company and a hardware company partner to create a gaming monopoly? Not really. Again, I would not be surprised. And once I started to see Xbox start to say, all right, we're going to start putting our games on other consoles, and then Sony started saying, all right, we're going to start putting our games on PC, I think it's pretty safe to say where they're going with this.
Yep.
He also
Oh,
did for
for,
$1. I have both because taking a PC underway isn't practical. A lot of Navy guys are the same. Fair enough.
Non sequitur, and going back to what I said for clarity, I refused to play Metal Gear Solid 5 because it wasn't David Hayter, and so that's why I've never really seen his face.
You
That's
didn't
why.
miss much.
I need to hear that classic Metal Gear. Like
didn't
I need
miss
to
much.
Meryl Otacon. Yeah.
That fucking
Damn.
smokers, like,
the smoker's
Yeah.
cough.
it's so
Smokers.
bad.
I need all of
Violence, yeah.
all of the original voice actors back personally. That's just me. I don't care if they're
Liquid. You gotta get that.
Play this like a damn fiddle. I need all of it.
Yeah, you gotta get that gravelly kind of like liquid kind of
Yeah,
voice.
You gotta
yeah.
sound like you're dying of fucking throat cancer. Like, that's what you need.
Pretty
right now.
much. Yep.
Anti-Federalist paying for $1. Driving people to subscription services is the whole point. As long as games are sold, they can lose a lawsuit about ownership and functionality. Subscription services have no consumer protections. Well, they're also anti-consumer as a whole for the most part too. I mean, they try to pass it off as being not anti-consumer by saying, well, you have access to all these games for a low price. But the thing is, like, you don't own anything. You don't own jack shit. And the moment
Well,
that
there's
service
also-
goes away, most of them will take away the things that you supposedly paid for over the few months anyway. So it's all gone
That-
anyway.
That's why the Ubisoft lawsuit in regards to the crew is so important, is because it's insane how little legal precedent there is for the digital rights or digital rights ownership, because
Yeah.
barely anyone takes it to court because it's a fringe. It's always been seen as a fringe issue. So whenever something is not called out and there's no law for it or direct overt law for it, usually built up by precedent, then companies and personalities can do as they wish.
Fair enough. Eric Jenkins for $1. I can't even read this, bro. He said, why does this flow better when the, and I'm just going to say creature, but he didn't say that word, and Atreus are not here?
Oh, no. I'll answer that point. And Will knows this, I think, better than anyone else. The bigger a panel is, the less well I do. The smaller a
Yeah,
panel
he
is,
gets pushed
ideally-
into the corner.
Yeah, the smaller a panel is, ideally 1-to-1, the better I usually do. It has got nothing to do with the fact that I have
a bunch of conflicting
on.
voices is what it is.
I mean, we have, yeah, it's natural because we have, so this panel is one of the few panels on YouTube that have 9 people on screen on average, 8 to 9 people, and all 9 people actually have something to say. You know what I mean? That's it's one of the few panels that have that. Most panels that have 9 people on screen, 4 are pretty much talking, and the rest are like either helping the show or interjecting here and there, whatever
Yeah,
the case may
they don't
be.
lead the conversation. or
Yeah.
have any like real.
This is
points
the
to
only panel where everybody has something to say. So sometimes it gets a little bit wild, but that's fine. That's why we like it. I rather have people that actually want to have something to say. I don't want somebody to just sit and not say anything. There's no point in having you here.
Yeah,
That's good.
there's no dead
Plus,
weight.
we also had a lot of shit today. I mean, we had Smash JT call out. We had Atreus call out. We had an emergency that I'm not going to mention unless he's ready to mention it. And then we had Cassie obviously goes to work around the 30 minutes before leaving. And fucking Kato's like, my headache. So, you know.
For the record, I have a headache
good.
right now. There's
Yeah,
these
it is
things
very-
they make for that. It's called paracetamol.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, they can't afford that over there. But I will say, it's a very good question that was asked by Eric Jenkins. I know it's so rare we have such smaller panels, which is why I always hope for a smaller panel, because it gives me the opportunity to speak my piece. Because the less time I have to say things, the more likely I am to make a mistake.
It's crazy, bro. Fucking Kata don't finish games and he don't finish panels, apparently. This is crazy. It's getting ridiculous.
That's what happens when you sniff feet.
Oh, God. Furious Dan for $1. The modders will make adapter mods just for those controllers for the Switch too. I don't doubt that. But it's still ridiculous that you got a $70 controller that it's tied to a fucking subscription that becomes a paperweight the moment you unsubscribe. I can't understand that concept.
Barely even that. Those things weigh nothing.
True. Missing Vegeta for $1. Alone in the Dark on 360 had a chapter skip feature actually listed on the back cover. That's just so stupid. Anti-Federalist paying for $1. Death Stranding, walking is the point. Developing your routes, the environment being the enemy. Not wanting walking is like not wanting shooting in Call of Duty or stealth in Assassin's Creed.
That is the reason I never played Death Stranding, because I just didn't think
sounds
that was
boring.
But that's
amazing.
what I've heard people explain it as, and that's why I got turned off. You know,
I don't understand like I don't understand the rabid defense for that. That gameplay sounds
not
boring.
interested.
Like
Yeah.
I've watched the gameplay and I'm like, I don't even want to touch the controller for that. Like, come on.
If someone without the reputation and legacy of Hideo Kojima tried that, it would be complete disaster. The fact that it's the legacy factor, it's the same legacy factor that Nintendo capitalizes on to ensure they can make L after L after L every odd generation or even generation. Well, every few generations of console gaming. It's legacy factor, right? Hypno, with the support of tens of thousands, is more likely to get away with doing something than I am with thousands, because he has proven his worth and
No, it's 'cause
quality.
you're white.
He's garnered a reputation. Spanish people and people of Spanish descent are white. The only blacks in
Except for
America
Filipinos.
are literally black. Okay,
No,
no
But,
Boricua person would ever say they're
Filipinos,
white. Not a single any one
brown.
of them.
You must have never heard of you must have
Can you
never heard of
imagine-
Dominican people, huh?
Yeah, can you imagine fucking Ryan going to Puerto Rico and be like, "You're all white,
white,
all Spanish. You all come from
You're
Spain.
not
Hey,
black."
all European.
Listen, Ryan, I don't know if you know, but 8-Bit
Say
Eric is
what?
trying to compete with you in the way that you guys say the word black. So you need to up your game, because he's got that smokers like black. I can't even fucking repeat it. It's
Metal
it's pretty strong. He should voice fucking Solid Snake, to be honest with you.
Black.
Look,
You know,
I
a
cannot
quote-
compete against 8-Bit Eric. He started his creator journey when I was 7 years old. How am I supposed to
Creator
compete with a man?
Golly.
That's insane. Holy shit.
I
According to
wasn't
the-
even alive when he started his own
Doing
career.
According
quick.
to the U.S. Okay.
No, go ahead. No, do you
I was
think?
gonna say, according to the U.S. government, anyone who's Middle Eastern like myself, whether you're bright like me or brown, you're considered white. That's because,
White
no matter
adjacent.
what, like no matter
our
as
government is fucked.
yeah.
White adjacent.
I mean, like I get it when they call me white, but then like there's plenty of us who are very brown, and like, oh no, you're white too because you're Middle Eastern.
I've brought this.
I'm
up.
starting to get my street cred back. My hands are getting browner now. I had somebody comment the other day on my manga video. They're like, brown
Your hands
hand
are white.
confirmed, marginalization status achieved, like something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, let's go. We're getting it back.
We're back.
I
boys.
mentioned it a couple of times, but because I live in the Philippines, there's a thing that they have here where they genuinely go out of their way to stay out of the sun. Because if you have dark skin in the Philippines, it implies that you work outside, which means that you're low class. You're a farmer, you're a builder,
Yeah.
something like that. So everyone wants to be white, to the point where they literally don't consider themselves beautiful, even if they're gorgeous. If their skin is like caramel color, they're like, I'm not pretty. I need to whiten my skin. It's ridiculous.
That's with a lot of different ethnicities, like Indian. They
do that too.
They want to be. They prefer to be lighter than darker. Like darker Indians are seen as lower.
It's crazy, isn't it? And I said to my wife about this. I've said, you do realize that all the women in my country are covering themselves in fake tan to try to look like you. It's like, why are they doing that? That's insane. They'll be ugly. I'm like, well, actually, yes, but that's for a different set of reasons. But,
Indian and Filipino mindset.
Dragon Master with the 5 memberships. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. We haven't had too many memberships today, so thank you for that. Benjamin with a 2. Ryan Roger Athe is the INFP of the group.
That would be introverted, intuitive, feeler, perceiver. It's the 16 core personality types. It's Myers-Briggs model of Jungian psychology.
That sounds complicated. Sam Slenderman with
It's
a
actually
5.
really simple.
This is for Obsidian's dog. Had one just like it growing up, and I miss him. Love this weekly panel. You guys always speak plainly and fairly. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Time out. There's 6 dogs in the house. Which one?
The one that you picked up on camera.
There's 20 in the chat.
Well, I mean, Betty. That was Betty that I just picked up.
How can you afford 6?
I don't know, but we can. So yeah, that was Betty with the floppy ears, and then I had Sydney, the biggest one here, jump up on the arm of the chair. I was just petting him shortly before Betty showed up, so I wasn't sure which one.
Look at this guy, man. Grateful Gamer out of nowhere, dropping a 5 membership banger, bro. Thank you so much, Grateful Gamer. I appreciate that. You are a legend. And then we got Anti-Federalist Pain over on Rumble for a 2, saying it's hard to explain Death Stranding. If you have a chance to try it, I recommend it, but you will either enjoy it or not. There is no middle ground. Do not buy it. Don't buy it until you try it. So it got gifted to me, and it's something that I've been meaning to try for a long, long time. It's hard. I have very little time, so I have to dedicate all my gaming, time to Griffcast and my actual reviews that I take, that I put on Steam and whatnot. So it's rough, but hey, I'm about to finish Shadows. I'm a week behind because of the ban, unfortunately. So I'm about to finish Shadows, and then South of Midnight I could finish pretty quick. Thankfully, that won't take too long. I'm gonna be balancing like 2 reviews at the same time to try to change it up, and obviously I gotta finish Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza. I gotta finish.
I leave it up to my chat. I say, what do you guys want me to play? And so they haven't requested. It's Suikoden every time. They haven't requested Assassin's Creed in so fucking long. I almost forgot I own it.
Nice. Speaking of, I know I played through. I started playing. I started playing Power World. There's really no end to Power World yet because they're still in development. But
always on Power World, bro.
Yeah. Well, actually, I haven't played for the last 4 days, but that's because of wedding stuff. But if I'm not playing Power World, I'm currently playing Dragon Quest Builders 2. That game is relatively short when you think about it, or rather when you play it straight. But Monster Hunter Wilds, I uninstalled that shit.
Really?
And that's saying something as a huge Monster Hunter fan.
That's shocking me right now.
Yeah, the most recent update made the game unplayable for me.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah, if people go back and watch the streams I did with Monster Hunter Wilds, they ran a little bit choppy. They had some graphical issues and stuff like that. A little stuttering. The audio will cut out every now and then. It's worse. It's fucking worse.
Damn, that sucks to
It's
hear,
actually
bro.
intolerable. Like fucking character models stop moving mid fight. They don't fully load in throughout the whole fight and stuff like that. It takes like a minute and a half for shit to load in. I'm just like, this is terrible. This is sad. I'll probably reinstall the game when I get a new system, when I get a new setup, and we'll see.
And considering the numbers they did, man, so sad they can't invest in fucking PC porting properly.
It pisses me way the fuck off.
Why am I not surprised? And then we got Eric Jenkins, last one for it too, confirmed. Not into Filipinos. I like my Asians slightly golden.
Yeah,
think that's fair, man.
Protect your women, rice munchers.
We are fully caught up. Shout out to all you guys. The first one was for the band episode because of Mr. Spear guy down there. And the second one is because obviously it was Rumble exclusive. So we've had 2 SNHs that are in the wind. But yes, technically this is episode 136. Let's do our outros. We're going to start with Will the Fans. Take it away.
Yeah. Hi. This has been fun. It's nice. Actually, with the smaller panel, it has been a more casual kind of controlled conversation. So that's kind of nice.
Very chill.
For a change, yeah, chill streams always good. Nice for me. It's a Sunday morning here, of course, so that's nice. So at the moment, it's all Doctor Who because it's back, and today, in about just 9.5 hours time, we'll be live for the revival of Who TF Live. We're doing temporarily. We're temporarily bringing that show back while Doctor Who is on the air, so that we can dissect and discuss and review the absolute wank that we had to watch. So if you are frustrated about Doctor Who, then come and check that out. Other than that, it's the usual stuff, videos about pop culture and politics and all of that ruination every day, at least a couple of them. Live streams 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday, Hyperdrive time. That's me going over the news. Then we have panel shows, WTF Live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then of course Who TF Live on Sundays. Come and check me out. I am currently not growing because I've been focusing so hard on live streaming that my videos have begun to suffer. So if you like what I've done on this show, come and subscribe, please, for the love of God, and help me out. Thanks for having me. I'll be back next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Roger Athley.
Well, speaking of revival, Will, reality-based revival will be live this Sunday at 9 p.m. UK time with a super special guest, Mr. Nobody, also known as Nobody Has Spoken. He's a great guy.
Nobody's cool.
He's very talented. He reminds me of Hypno when he first started out, but I am not going to just, say like, oh, discount Doomcock. He's not going to succeed. I'm not going to make that mistake a second time. I'll tell you that.
Need to be an
I remember you
servant
said,
twice.
Yep. How you feel about that one, sir?
Yeah. That's why you keep me on. Reminds me of my constant
humiliation.
I would say I keep you on to constantly rub it in your face, but that would sound really gay. So
yeah,
I know.
Yeah, it does. Relax,
folks. When we did Rising Stars videos, the first creator we ever rejected. Also, I'll be on Will's show. It'll be a fantastic show. As for me, I did mention the show. I've been actually doing very well on all fronts. Usually, when I do well, everyone around me does badly, and that run of form has continued. And keep on going, keep on growing, making more videos, more shows, more videos from said shows. Thank you all very much for watching. One more question, Hypno. Where are our names?
Oh yeah, we haven't got our names on us today.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, literally, it was like this before the show
Still
started.
got Big Daddy
I don't know
W
what
on
you're
mine.
talking about.
Still got Big Daddy W on mine.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
So that's an exclusive for SNH. This is the first ever SNH where our names were not included for 99% of the show.
That's yet another thing he's gonna have to echo every episode.
It's almost as if your names are not in the description every single episode.
Only a specific type of autism would care about that, Ryan. But okay.
Well, it's good to have. It was great to have Mustafa. That's what I'm calling you after the planet.
Not fucking Star Wars. Come on, man.
On the show. And best of
Sit down,
luck,
young Skywalker.
Best of luck in your future endeavors as Sheepsidian disciplines a dog like my.
No, I
ancestor
was beating the cat that jumped
dog.
on.
I mean, his ancestor.
No, I was beating the cat that jumped on the box where my tuxedo is. I was almost about to snap its neck.
See, TP says literally no one noticed. See,
what?
We have these things called
you have
wardrobe.
to notice in this day and age. If you don't notice, bad things will happen to you.
Fantastic. Obsidian. Guys, by the way, we're going to be rating Project Egg Roll. They have no idea, so stick around. Let's raid Project Egg Roll and support Asian lives. We got a hashtag Stop Asian Hate. All right, go ahead.
Stop Asian Hate.
No one's
Hashtag
done more to not hate Asians than this guy.
Hashtag Stop
Thanks.
Asian Hate. Hashtag Go Buy Manga. I will not be here next week because, again, for those that weren't here, I will be in Vegas getting married. So
Not doing the legit thing these days.
Congratulations. Keep going.
Thank you. I also won't be streaming all next week because I don't stream Mondays and we leave on Tuesday. So we'll be gone all week. I won't be streaming. We'll return the following week, the following Tuesday with more Dragon Quest Builders 2, where I get to now do a bunch of gruff, terrible Cockney voices. It's great. And one Australian dude. But aside from that, I will be working on, I guess, whatever bit of commissions I can get in the meantime. So, if you got some commissions, want some work done, go ahead and hit me up. If you want to see some of the work that I am I'm pushing so heavily on, I'll be uploading some of that stuff to my Instagram and also to Twitter. It's all Sheepsidian. So, it's easy to find.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Pretty much all I got. Manga recommendation, Corey Kenshin's book.
Nice. Two things really quick. We got Yus Roda becoming a member all on his own. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate that. And then the Grateful Gamer with a 5 just learned this year. The first Death Stranding has a Horizon Easter egg. Wonder how much was paid to get that in there. Hail SNH and the Bigot panel.
I hate PlayStation.
I totally forgot to mention that I'll be doing a Suikoden end stream sometime today before HooTF Live, by the way.
Let's go.
Wow.
Nice. Everybody's busy. You like
Oh,
it.
and my army is called the Bigot Army, by the way. I need to send you a screenshot of that.
Everybody's doing work kicks.
All right, I remove Will. That's it. I'm done with the copyright.
Everyone.
But
is
Copyright
I
is
said it was a tribute. It's a tribute, bitch.
Eric Jenkins, really quick for it too. Wow, you said Doomcock would fail yet again. The Brits underestimate seems to be a running joke like their country.
Doomcock clone.
He was talking
That
about
is what
me. When he discovered me, he said I was going to fail, and then now he got felted. So that's just what it is.
Rip.
Doomcock clown.
All right, our special
Fucking
guest. I
googly eye.
apologize for having to deal with these crazy people. Mustafa, tell everybody who you are, where they can find you, what you got coming up, anything special.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. This was really fun. I definitely would love to do this again if you got openings in the future. I mean, not often though, but because I'm busy. But
no, I get it. I get it.
I don't want to be associated with you.
Yeah, we'll have you here next week. Next week.
I mean, it sounds like you need me next week with how many people bouncing on you.
Happy Pass is not
It's gonna be a totally new panel next week.
But as far as what I do, so my channel, my biggest video, for those who haven't seen it, it's a video in which I talk about my experience with DEI in the game industry. That video blew up, like Asmongold watched it.
Hell yeah.
But I don't post as much on my YouTube as these guys on the panel do. But when I do, it's to try to promote my brand and try to get people to know about my games that I'm working on that are on Steam. And to build my brand on YouTube, I talk about things that I like to talk about as far as video game development goes. Like I like to talk about character design. Like I compared Tosh to Grunt from Mass Effect 2. That was a video that went pretty well. I compared Falcon or Captain America Falcon to Goku.
Okay, that sounds really fucking interesting though. I'm not gonna lie.
Talking about comparing Rey from Star Wars to Aang, Kylo Ren to Zuko. Basically, I compare trash to greatness. So I mean, and my latest couple videos were about Donkey Kong bonanza, but that's because I was like, I just want to talk about something design related. I don't want to like always stay negative, but I do talk about the negative stuff too, because that's the stuff that builds the momentum.
That's dope. That's what we need. We need more positive content out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't do too well.
It never does, because people like seeking out drama. And
yeah, it doesn't push the algorithm, but you know, that's the stuff that you can find on my channel, Sabr Path. But as far as games, I have one game available on Steam called Nexus Defenders. It's a story-driven tower defense game. Like if you like games like Defense Grid, it's like that, except with more of a story. And right now, I'm trying to get back to working on my first-person stealth horror game. Takes inspiration from games like what are those called? It's games like Deus Ex. I'm blanking on the type of immersive sims.
Oh, okay.
Games. Yeah, it takes inspiration from immersive sims, but a lot smaller level, because I'm just one dude. I can't make a huge city. So it's just one small level, and you kind of can, got different options to sneak around as one guy is trying to kill you, and you have to solve the puzzles and escape. The game is like 80% done, but I just gotta like find time to finish that 20%. Like all the mechanics are there. I just gotta like get the puzzles and all the gameplay mechanics in place, and then have an ending, and then the game's done. So maybe whenever I get it ready for launch, I'll reach out to you, Hypnotic, and be like, hey, can I come back on the show and talk about the game for a second?
Absolutely. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, man.
I'm
It's
down
been
for
nice
that.
to talk to you, dude.
Yeah, shout
Nice
out to you,
insights.
man. I know this has been a while coming, but we scheduled it a long time ago, but we finally made it, so it's all good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This was really fun.
made it.
Hell yeah. Forgotten Vet sneaking in a $20 banger. The silent protagonist himself saying absolutely nothing. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
He spoke the
Mods-
one time JT was here.
Yeah, no, he speaks, but every once in a while he drops that silent 20. That's just his that's his shtick. That's what he does. Mods, if you can please link our guest links in Rumble as well, I would appreciate it. It's in the description in Rumble, but I just want to put it in the chat so that people have it, if you don't mind. All right, guys, that is it for the stream. Again, shout out to everybody. It's going to be a light panel because, well, everybody's leaving to Vegas, but special guest next week should be 40K Empress if everything goes well. So I know Ryan's going to be breaking that. Yep,
Yeah,
look,
we'd like
see,
to
look
go
at Ryan,
before.
look at Ryan, look at Ryan. Ryan can't
He
even.
was on
can't even-
one of my shows recently.
I
She's
heard
cool.
I heard
his eyes.
Yeah.
Literally. So yeah, it should be 40K Empress if everything goes well. So we'll have her joining us. And there'll be a few of us hanging out, so it's all good. We can run this show and we'll be fine. As for me, obviously it's the same thing every single day. Not currently banned on YouTube. Every day, 3 videos, 12, 3, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the main channel. Clip videos, obviously on the live channel. Hypnocast every day, Sunday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern on the main channel. Griffcast Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern on the live channel. Manga video every day, 4 p.m. Eastern on the manga channel. And that's it, man. That's it. That's
This
all I
one's
got.
Carolyn.
So, what?
This one's Carolyn. Like, the
It's
Carolyn.
got dogs for days, man. Dogs for days. All right, boys.
Got
We're
dogs
gonna
that
run
can
with
rearrest
the standard outro because I don't have any clips that are not copyrighted just yet for the outro that I want to add. I'm still working on that, so we're just gonna run standard outro. So take care, guys. Go be bigots and go be gooners, and we'll see you in the next one.
Go read manga.
Bye.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you can.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Hideo, or her cat was named Vagina. Vagina. Vagina.
Put a ticket in, make her gay. Fuck Indiana Jones, put a ticket in, make her lady gay. Fuck baby gay, put a ticket in, make her gay. It means put a chicken in it we eat and make her fucking gay. Fucking pronouns! Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day California shit! Because all we fucking know, because we're boring! We're so fucking Twitter hole! Twitter hole! Get it right!
At the touch of the black man, I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life.